Buonasera. Welcome to High Rollers Dungeons and Dragons here on twitch.tv/Yogscast and twitch.tv/High Rollers D&D. I am your Dungeon Master Mark Sherlock Holmes.
It's him.
And joining us, well, we don't even need to cut cameras today. We have Trot, Kim, Tom, and Ree.
Hello.
Katie's not very well. She's caught cold in the office and didn't want to be coughing into the mics, so she is not here. Ree's on her way out. We've got to make the most of it while we can.
I'm just like, stay away from me.
Welcome, friends.
By the way.
Before we kick things off today, a couple of little things to talk about. Chris Trot, tell us about today's sponsor.
Okay, it's D&D Beyond.
Oh yeah.
That one.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
This one.
I've got something. To celebrate the return of Mark and Kim from Italy,
Hey, that's
representing High Rollers.
Molto bene!
Molto bene.
Buonasera.
Representing High Rollers at Lucca Comics and Games Festival, I thought I'd test all of your knowledge of the Italian language.
Oh,
The following abilities are directly and questionably Google translated from your D&D Beyond character sheets.
Oh.
So it was super easy for me to locate and check through the whole party's character sheets thanks to D&D Beyond's campaign feature. Also because digital, I get to copy and paste it really easily into this Google Doc. So I don't know why I'm saying Google so much. Maybe it's because our overlords. And they're going to take over our lives at some point.
Oh my God.
say D&D Beyond more.
The first person to guess what the translated spell/ability/feat is wins a point.
Feats
Bonus
as well.
point if you can guess what character uses it too.
Oh, fuck.
Here we go. Scudo della feda.
Sorry.
Scudo della feda. Don't look.
Green flame braid.
Nope.
Scudo della Fede.
Mark, you can join in too. Don't Google translate.
I'm not Google translating. I'm using the new Italian Player's Handbook, which is available on D&D Beyond now. It's just, we announced it. We announced it at Lucca. I'm trying to find it, and I can't find it.
Scudo della Fede.
Scudo della feda.
Scudo
It's something
della
of
Fede.
the
Scudo della
Shield
feda.
of faith.
Shield of the faith.
Shield of faith.
Oh.
Technically, Mark got the first point.
But-
went Shield of faith.
Yeah. But then Tom said Sentry.
So you get a bonus point.
There you go.
1 point, 1 point.
Okay.
Lama a fiamma verde.
So what?
Green flame braid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Go Nova.
2 points. Nebbia, nebbia.
Nebbia. Magic Missile.
No,
So it's two.
I don't know.
Oh, it must be the same thing of the
It's
same.
translated properly because it's Google.
Nebbia.
Nebbia, nebbia.
Is it two words that?
Nebbia, nebbia.
Gaseous form.
Fairy Fire. No.
That's closer.
Dancing Lights.
No,
Misty step.
no.
Gaseous
Nebbia, nebbia.
Guiding bolt. I mean,
fog.
Light.
Cloud.
Are you saying
Si
Nebbia?
crea una sfera di nebbia
Oh,
di 20
the
piedi centrata
sphere.
su un punto nel raggio di azione.
It's the thing you have.
La sfera-
Hunger of it all.
Luscious light.
No, si estende attorno agli angoli e la sua area è fortemente oscuraturata.
So it makes something like
Dura per
difficult terrain.
tutta la durata o fino a quando il vento di velocità moderata
It slows.
o maggiore.
speeds or
Magic. Something magic.
It's an orb that slows and makes difficult terrain. And I thought it
You
was
create
like,
a 20-foot radius sphere of
Darkness.
light.
nebbia,
Light.
Light.
nebbia,
Light.
void.
Void. Cold.
oh, nebbia,
Fog. Fog.
Fog cloud.
nebbia.
Nebbia is fog cloud. I guess that makes sense.
Lucas.
No,
No.
character does it.
Fog cloud.
Nebbia.
Well,
I don't know.
I don't do fog.
Could be a guest.
Kim.
It's in the Aerois campaign, and it's a character.
Not
Drexia.
Oh.
Yeah,
Bonus
that was the
point.
only one I could think of.
2, 1.
Oh.
Shall I do some more? You want one more?
One more.
Yeah,
One
yeah,
more.
This one's too easy. I'll do a different one.
Wait, go on.
This one's easy. Spruzata acida.
Acid spray.
Splash.
Lucius.
Shit. 2 points to Tom. 4 points to Tom.
wins.
Tom wins.
Italiano.
Molto bene, molto bene.
Molto bene.
Molto
Mamma
bene.
mia.
Grazie
Italian
mille.
clap. Grazie.
Grazie mille.
Italian clap.
Bene.
Italian.
Well, yeah, it's literally amazing because that just got announced at Luca that the
Yeah.
Player's Handbook is now translated into Italian.
So if you want to buy it in Italian,
Yeah.
why not?
Amazing.
What a great way to learn Italian, though.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
As a segue from that, I was going to also do a big thank you to everybody that we met at Luca. Special thanks go out to the Wizards team, Dan, Jerome, and Anna, who they took exceptional care of us. Thank you guys so much. Especially to Jerome, my now favorite Frenchman, because he got angry at every restaurant we went to.
Yeah.
What's taking so fucking long?
That was very accurate.
Also, a big thank you to our fellow players and guests, Bill, Richard, Aoife, Zoe, Paul, and Joe. Also to Titus and Suzanne, who are artists who worked on Dungeons & Dragons. Not you, you're here. And Joe as well. And thank you very much to everybody who we spoke to that came to say hi to us and came to watch our games, which you can watch as VODs on the D&D Twitch channel. So you can watch my one-shot where I ran Eberron, and then also I played in a one-shot with a new character called Alessandra. So you can play that.
You're a
watch that
player?
as well. I was a player. I played in Bill Benham's game, and it was a really fun Avernus game.
Very nice.
We had to blow up a big hell ship. It was cool.
Nice.
Anything else?
God.
Go!
I have news.
Big news!
Hello. I have news.
Go there.
Big news. Sentry's coming to Idle Champions!
Look at that. There she is.
Cool.
Huge thanks to Clive and the team at Idle Champions. They did such a freaking amazing job with Sentry. Like, I'm so excited for it to come out.
It's so
We're going
good.
to tweet out
It's
this
amazing.
in motion, right?
Yes,
Yes.
we've got this.
I've got a GIF
gifs.
going. It's going out now. GIF is out now.
Yeah.
So
Check out
enjoy.
Twitter.
There'll be some bits and bobs coming out on my social some in the next few days or so.
Yeah.
About the release. Got some streams coming up.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're going to do a stream where you're going to unlock Sentry.
Unlock Sentry.
Yep.
You've got a little Q&A one of the Idle Champs guys as well.
She'll have a load of synergy with the other characters.
Yeah.
As part of the
Big tanky
Champions of
Heroes of
Aerois.
Aerois.
Heroes of Aerois.
Yeah,
There you
big
go.
tanky healer girl. So get
Tanky
excited.
healer alongside
Very
Ayla and Quill. Very cool.
That's very cool.
Go higher than maths.
Awesome. Obviously, all the usual
carry
stuff.
Yeah.
Amazon Prime,
are
Twitch
again.
Prime, get subs in on High Rollers D&D, unlock those special High Rollers emotes over on the
Like
High
the
Rollers
Sentry
D&D
and
Twitch.
Echo ones.
Like Sentry and Echo ones that you can spam. Don't forget the Patreon as well, podcast, all of that good stuff.
Yeah.
And with that, why don't we just jump into Dun Dun?
Done.
Okay.
Are you all right there, Tommy?
Done.
Go higher than
Put them
maths.
together.
It's the worst stream High Roller's ever done.
Dun
Me and
Dun.
Rhiannon playing. Yeah, go.
Yeah, no, we can see it. Right.
Hello.
Go.
Last time on Aerois, the party have just barely escaped the astral citadel called Aegis 5, having destroyed the corrupted Eterna called Silver Edge and encountering the strange Eladrin working for the Starbane Empire, Shansana, member of the diplomatic corps. Shortly after returning from the depowered station, risking life and limb in some cases, the party have reconvened on the Stormchaser, their airship, and began to make plans about where to head next when Sentry, the Paladin Guardian, seemed to shut down suddenly, a symptom of the Guardian's fading life force. Now, the party has set a course for the City of Glass, on a ruin on the continent of Gisela. And we begin on the airship. Nice. Pretty much where we left off. Nova is currently recuperating in Grey Lano.
In Grey Lano.
Greylano's medical chambers. In Greylano's medical chambers, I imagine that not much time has passed. We won't like jump ahead any days and stuff like that because I'm not 100% sure on exactly if you guys have any plans. But she's recuperating there. Business about the ship has continued as normal. We'll probably say that Erin Coralsong, the Triton who you were working with to defeat the Sahuagin and eventually led to the portal that took you to the Astral Citadel, has made her way off the ship. The ship's been lowered down to the sea where she's dived in and has begun making her way back to report to the king, who now resides in New Solvin. But the airship takes once again to the air, and
Give us the trident, right?
she did. She gave Quill the trident, the Coralsong trident, which for people's notice at home, and given that Quill would have easily been able to cast Identify by now, it is a +1 trident that allows you to cast Conjure Animals once per day, but you can only conjure animals with a swim speed.
Okay.
Ooh.
Nice.
A whale.
If that fits within the challenge rating limits of the spell, perhaps.
Turtle.
You could summon turtles, yes.
I don't know how challenge rating works, so I've got no idea.
So I will
Shark.
conjure animal.
A jellyfish. A swarm of jellyfish.
What about another
One
trident?
beast of challenge rating 2 or lower.
Okay.
What's challenge rating 2 in the fish
God,
universe?
you're going to literally make me look this up while we're playing live, aren't you?
use D&D.
That's what I'm doing. But I still have to like pick a lot of things. Right, beast,
right,
challenge
got-
rating 2, show advanced filters, movement type, swim,
Fish.
show me fish.
Oh, fish.
Right, so you want just challenge rating 2? I'm only going to do challenge rating 2 because there's a fucking lot of them.
Sure.
So, giant constrictor snake.
What? Gyarados.
They have a swim speed.
Well, some snakes can swim.
Gyarados.
Giant crayfish.
Oh my god.
Oh, that fish cray.
A giant moray eel. Hunter shark.
That's a moray. I've got no more jokes. Carry on.
Hunter shark. Technically a plesiosaurus, which is, I believe, is what
Which
Ness,
sounds exactly
which
like
is
that.
what Loch Ness is based on.
We can summon a plessy.
But they
yeah.
proved Loch Ness is just an eel.
Oh.
Yeah, they proved it's just a
Way to ruin everyone's fucking fun, Kim.
Sorry.
Nessie was my Santa.
If you want to, now can you conjure more CR1 animals?
Yeah, I can 2 of challenge 1.
You could summon 2 giant octopus,
Oh my god, giant.
Yeah.
2 giant toads,
Oh shit.
or 2 swarms of piranhas.
You could be like, what's the guy from Naruto who has the giant toads?
Oh, begins with a
it
J.
Jiraiya?
Jiraiya.
Jiraiya,
Of course,
yeah.
fucking, I hate that I know that, but yeah, I do know that.
Jiraiya of the fun.
What about half challenge ratings?
4 of them.
4 crocodiles.
Oh,
Shit.
man.
4 giant sea eels.
Oh shit.
4 giant sea horses, which is what I used as the dolphins last time. 4 reef sharks, or 4 sea lions.
Let's say I needed 8 quarter ratings.
This is the last one I'm doing. I'm not doing any more after this.
There's no more after this.
Okay.
I just want, give me 1. Give me the best of the 8 that I can summon.
Giant frogs.
8
8 giant frogs.
Yeah.
8 giant frogs.
There you go. Perfect.
But,
So
2 octopus.
that can
one
be used. That can be used once per day.
Once per day.
One
Okay.
easier saw.
I mean, yeah.
And it is a trident. It is a magical weapon as
That's
well. It's a
very
+1 weapon to hit and damage rolls.
Nice.
You should really summon a giant crayfish.
Just on the ship now.
I've never even looked at a giant crayfish.
Basically, lobster boy.
Yeah. Would it sink the ship?
What, a giant crayfish?
Yeah.
Let's see how big it is.
How heavy would that be?
How big is this boy?
It's only a large beast, so it wouldn't be enough to sink the ship, no.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about the size of a horse.
Can we eat it?
Yeah, that's good
oh
food.
my god.
So you would know from identification of the spell, it doesn't conjure a real animal. It's like a fae being in the shape of that animal. So if you were to kill it, it would just vanish.
It's not like infinite food.
So could I not conjure it, concentrate for long enough for someone to kill it, chop it up, cook it,
As
eat
soon as it dies, it fades into mist.
That's all the nutrients
Giant
fade.
lobster.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know, just good sustenance, you know,
But it's not.
for
Because
as long as I can concentrate the spell.
Keep concentrating. I'm so hungry.
Could you carry on?
I mean, no, because now it's, what are you guys doing? So I will probably say Aerois will sit down with Navigator Quill, or Quartermaster Quill, and
Okay.
help you plot, along with Lookout, your guardian, one of your hirelings, and you will map out a course.
Okay, I've got a
which-
newly updated map.
You do have a newly updated map.
Oh.
So I think
you
the top-down
hold up?
camera's working, so if you want to shift the boat...
We had a
go.
request on Reddit to see the map. So.
Oh, well, sorry podcast for a second, but
You get to hear the map.
You get to hear the map. Look at that crinkle.
It's a good crink.
That's made with Malaysian coffee.
Yep.
Nice.
Nice.
Point that out.
Pretty easy to use.
So I've got Voxar filled in, things like that now.
Yes.
Really cool.
It also has Yamalotai on there, which is basically where you currently are.
Yeah.
Yellow tie.
What's the big swirly thing right in the middle of the...
So the big swirly thing is it's the remaining after effects of the Sundering. So there is still a very powerful magical vortex that was conjured by divine magic when Atelicus basically shattered the continent into the mini lands of Aerois is today. And it means that the wind, the seas, the currents are exceptionally strong there. It basically prevents you kind of like flying through it or sailing through it. You have to kind of work around it.
What happens if a city gets trapped in its spin?
It would probably get torn apart over time.
Could we... Right, hear me out.
Is this Lucius or Chris Trott?
Chris Trott.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not Lucius. We protect a city with a big dome of protection. We slingshot a city into outer space. And we have an outer space city.
I mean, we've already got that with Vorten's.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean, no, they're on planets.
Yeah, they're on planets,
They
aren't they?
swapped
Yeah.
places.
Crikey.
Insane.
So,
badass.
Quill, you sit down with a lookout on Aerois and begin looking at the potential paths that you have to take. You will need to avoid, you need to give the vortex at the center of Aerois a pretty wide berth to avoid its pull. Or if you go too near it, it will certainly heavily slow you down for sure.
Yeah. I mean, how close can we get before it starts being bad?
I mean, that's up to you.
Because Yamalotai, where we are, is quite close, and I feel like we could just cycle that around to the City of Glass and then totally avoid that.
So I believe it would take you north over Savona, past the kind of island continent called Corsadi, and then you would basically travel onwards all the way down to where you believe the City of Glass, which is actually the ruin of a city called Kamina.
Yeah, we go just over a little bit of the Hawkstorn archipelago as well.
Yes.
Okay, that sounds like a course.
Okay.
Basically just west.
Plotting it out, you think it's going to take you about 3 weeks.
Wow, okay.
Because this is a lot of distance. The map is a little bit, because I'm not very good with scale, like the map of Savona makes it look like going from Rose Hall to Gold Throne is this like pretty epic journey on the map. In reality, it would have been a much more expansive distance.
Yeah.
So don't use the map for scale, is what I'm saying.
Oh no, I just separated that journey into 3 chunks, and I was like going to put a bit in the bottom that was just like, this is 1 week.
Yeah, you could do that, but it's not entirely accurate because I'm not very good at drawing maps. So
It's like a early explorer's like rough map.
it's a very rough map, and you've been filling it in with stuff that you know. It's to give you an idea of like the kind of like relevancy of like, okay, this is where this continent is, this is where this continent is, this is roughly where this city is on that continent. It's a very rough
That's
guide.
very accurate to Quill's intelligence.
Wow.
Cartography.
Is that a good thing?
Yep.
Sure, thanks. Yeah, so I think we're basically just heading west. West, southwest.
Okay.
Fantastic.
That's a thing, isn't it?
So
Yeah.
you have 3 weeks. This is an opportunity if there is stuff you want to talk about, if there is stuff you want to do as downtime. To remind you, you can do things like research, you can make magic items, you can brew potions potentially. On a completely, not role-playing it out, Grey Lano is trained in alchemy and herbalism, which means she can make potions of healing. You will need to give her gold, and she has to have time to make them, but she could make you healing potions.
Oh.
However,
very cool.
she is also currently tending to Unwell Nova, which will take up some of her time. So she can basically
Just a
produce...
fucking burden to everybody.
It means that she will produce half as much as she normally would. So if you set her to like, we want you to make 3 potions of healing, she'll probably only be able to make 1 or 2.
We'll start to make 100 then. Does it cost more for her to make them than if we were to just buy them?
No, it's less.
Oh, perfect.
So to make a potion of healing, normally a potion of regular healing, so a 2d4 plus 2 healing potion, would cost 50 gold. Grey Lano can make them for 25 gold, but they take her a week to make 1.
Right. Okay. But I guess with 3 weeks, that's still pretty
Yeah.
good.
The other thing which might be relevant to Quill and Lucius, you guys, because you are spellcasters, you can, if either of you are particularly trained in calligraphy, or if you wanted to learn calligraphy over time, you could make scrolls. You could literally, any spells you know or that you can prepare, you can make them into scrolls. Technically, Nova can do this as well, because she's a spellcaster.
So I am proficient in cartographer tools. I don't know if that translates.
Not really, no.
Okay.
Magical calligraphy to make scrolls would be a
Depends
very
on
different thing.
cartographer tool,
Technically, Sentry can also make scrolls of paladin spells.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Now, the way they work is because they're consumable items, there is differences in price. So, for example, a first level spell, to make a scroll of a first level spell would take you 1 day, but they cost 25 GP to make.
Okay.
We have a
And it's an
size
action to
at
use
the
them.
moment.
It doesn't matter on the level.
Yes, so first level is 1 day. Second level spell, so this could be any spell. You could inscribe a magic missile.
25 gold.
No.
That's per day.
Second level spell is 3 days and 250 gold. It's actually a considerable cost as the scroll gets more powerful.
Right.
Which means that if you find powerful scrolls, they're actually worth quite a bit of money.
We should sell scrolls.
And now I'm a wizard.
Yes.
I can put stuff in my spell book, can't I?
If you have a scroll of it, you can put it in your spellbook, as long as it's a wizard spell.
Oh,
You
I
can't
don't-
inscribe a
so
cleric spell into your thing.
Divination isn't a...
No.
And then with
What if I wrote a spell?
If it's a wizard spell, he could copy it and learn it.
You could copy and learn it.
And then also, couldn't I technically learn things as well with Pact of the Tome?
If they are
Shadows,
ritual spells.
Ritual spells. So
Let's
I can
min-max
learn-
this shit.
Yeah, perfect.
So that's something to think about, maybe do some homework on and figure out.
Yeah.
I imagine neither of you are trained in calligraphy, though, I imagine.
No.
Unless you want to add it to my past,
No.
being in a noble house.
Did you pick that when you picked your noble background?
Yeah.
I don't think you did.
I'm
You're right.
proficient in writing tools, so could I?
Writing tools, yeah. Yeah, you could teach them. So that was the other thing I was going to mention to you. So you have basically the downtime options is making magic items, research, which you've done before when you wanted to get some information about the world. So that's still an option because you did buy books. You don't have a well-stocked library, but you have research materials on the ship. Making potions and scrolls. The other one you can do is training. Right. So this is an opportunity where you can spend gold for supplies, or in this case, we'll be effectively taking it out of the ship's stores to train in things. Those things can be a weapon proficiency, they can be a language, or a tool that you can learn to use. So it's quite expensive for weapons because it's like, I'm going to learn how to use a longsword. Ping, 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 and you learn that one weapon. Normally they don't, it's not normally that you can learn to gain weapon proficiencies, but I'm going to allow it. But things like tool sets, so if you wanted to learn to become a blacksmith, if you wanted to learn calligraphy tools, writing tools, that's something you can develop over time as well. It costs about 25 gold per week to train, and it normally takes about 10 weeks to fully master something. So whether that's a language, a tool, or a weapon
I'm going to
proficiency.
do glass blowing.
Yeah.
You could do. Who knows when that might come in
I
useful.
hate glass blowing so much.
So I guess proficiencies, we can't do like deception and
No,
athletics.
skill proficiencies unfortunately are, it would break the game if you could just train in those over time.
Can we?
Maybe if you spend significant amounts of time training
Yeah.
in them, yes.
Can we do like disenchantments and re-enchantments and things like that? To
So,
make magical items.
I would say it's very difficult to do.
Right.
Without something like the Midwife's Forge or like the Forges of Elena, which are inherently built to do that kind of thing.
Sure.
You can do it, but it is much, much, much less effective. So if you want to break down a magic item into its like residuum or ethereum dust and the pieces that made it, you'll get probably about a quarter of its value in gold, raw gold back, which you can contribute to another magic item.
Right, okay.
If you want to kind of transfer a property of an item to another one, that is something only a powerful like place or location or a expert blacksmith could do.
Yeah.
Somebody would need to be an expert in their craft at transferring those kind of enchantments.
Okay, yeah, because I was thinking about like the barrier ring,
Mm-hmm.
for example, trying to make 2 of those.
Okay.
But,
Well, you could make the barrier ring for sure. Like you could just build a new barrier ring.
oh, could I import that into my current ring? The Dusk Willow? I guess I could just wear another ring.
Yeah, you can wear 2 rings. There are rules to how much you can wear, but you can wear 2 rings.
I mean, most people can wear 10. This guy, Fine.
Not in Dungeons and Dragons.
No, I can just stack them.
2
like
magic
a hula
rings.
hoops.
You could wear 10 rings, but only 2 of them can be magical.
Sure. Okay.
Look, man, don't question RPG inventory systems, okay?
Yeah. Okay.
How do wolves carry 10 gold pieces on them? Who knows? So you could make another barrier ring if you wanted to.
And what would that take?
So what does a barrier ring do? It's +2 AC for a minute, right?
Yeah, and it's a hovering shield.
I would make that as... Is it an uncommon item or a rare item?
Lucius has got it at the moment.
Here, let me have a look.
All right,
this is very much going to be a taking stock.
+2 to AC, what do you need to
Is it an uncommon or rare item? So green or blue?
uncommon.
Uncommon. So if it's an uncommon item, it's not too expensive to make then. I would put it at something like, let's say... Do you remember, did you buy it or did you find it? You found it.
It was found.
Yeah. So let's say we'll put it at 500 gold. So it costs 500 GP. 500 GP to make magic items. You have to pay half the price of the magic item in raw materials. So you need to pay 250 gold. And it takes you a number of weeks equal to the cost divided by 50. So in this case, it would take you 10 weeks to make a barrier ring on your own. But that can be reduced depending on the number of people working on it. So if Lucius and Quill made one together, it would be half that time. It would go down to 5 weeks.
Like Ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually excellent.
I would imagine more that, like, whilst Quill is resting, Lucius works on it, rather than you both, like, delicately holding this tiny ring together. Yeah.
He can be my other arm.
Yeah, sure. Sure, do what you want. Fuel the shipping by all means.
Lucius, you need to reach around.
This ring's too big.
You know, you two are like the biggest ship couple out of all of them.
Oh god, we're fueling that fire.
Yep, yeah, you are.
The burning.
Keep it burning.
Oh man.
I know it's a lot of options.
I'm going to give you this back anyway, so it's out of my inventory.
Oh really? Okay. Sure. I mean, I've got bigger shields in spells now as reactions.
I'll take it back.
Yeah, I was going to say. I think that's why I gave it to you, because I've now got.
I thought it was just for this
Do you
area.
want to do this then? Because I have 250 gold.
I think for now I might spend some time making. Can I make cleric scrolls?
Yeah.
Because I might just make like a load.
Well, you're
of...
not trained in calligraphy, though, are you?
Oh.
Actually, let me see.
How long would it take for me to train Quill? Like.
Yeah, because I always want to make just a load of healing
No,
scrolls.
you don't need calligraphy tools, actually. I'm just checking it now. You don't need the calligraphy tools.
Oh.
I assumed you did, but you don't. So anybody can make scrolls.
Cool. Sweet.
Because I feel like healing potions and also just a load of like heal scrolls is just double good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the main difference with scrolls is obviously only people who can cast spells can use them. If the spell is not on the person's spell list, so if, say, Nova tried to cast a Cure Wound scroll, she has to make an ability check. So she has to roll a d20 plus her charisma mod, and it has to exceed the level of the spell.
Okay.
It also takes an action to use. Scrolls are also much more vulnerable than potions. Things like a fireball spell might incinerate any scrolls you're carrying.
Sure,
I'm not worried about that till now, but if you start carrying more, I will start to worry about it.
I mean, I feel like I fire spell slots out. The old classic spell slots. So it wouldn't hurt just to have a load of heals just
Certainly
outside
wouldn't
my
hurt.
spell slot.
Certainly wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
I
I think in the meantime, I'm probably going to commission Greylano to make some healing potions.
Yeah. Yeah. So she can, with 3 weeks, she can make 3 regular healing potions,
Yeah.
or...
This is all from Xanathar's.
Yeah, I'm using Xanathar's guide, basically. Yes. Correct. Correct, Chris Trott.
And do some crime.
You can do some crime on an airship. I mean, technically, like, if you want to do things like gambling with the crew, if you just want to get drunk and party with the crew, we can do that as well.
What's the benefit?
Morale.
Fun.
Morale.
It's like, what do you think it's going to be? Like, you know, why would Lucius do it? That's the next question. It's like,
Fighting. I think that's
so Greylano can make either 3 regular healing potions or 1 uncommon, but because she's looking after you, it would be probably only 2 regulars.
I want you to hit me as hard as you can. Just make
Yeah,
Fight
let's go
Club.
for 2 regular.
2 regulars, so that would cost you 50 gold.
Okay. I will deduct from my inventory.
And now I'm going to roll a complication.
Oh.
Oh. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yep. It's a thing.
I guess we've taken long rests as well. Shall I do that?
Actually, no. The complications will only come if you were in a place of like other people. It's just you guys in the airship. I'm not going to roll complications for that.
Oh, right.
Okay. So can I just add that to my inventory then, or like?
Oh, actually, potions of healing. It's 1 day.
Oh.
Oh wow.
Yeah, 1 day per 25 GP. I was looking at something else. What was I looking at? Oh, magic items.
21 healing potions. And just go
So yeah,
jingling
25
every
GP, and it
function.
takes her a whole day to make them. So I would say in a week she has to spend about 3 days looking after you and about 3 days making potions and then a rest day. So she can make 3 a week at the cost of 25 gold each. Or she can spend an entire week making a greater healing potion for 100 gold.
Let's do that one.
Okay. How many do you want to make?
A greater healing. I guess 2. She can make
2 greater healing potions, yeah.
So that's 200 gold, right?
Yep. This is why you like hiring Greylano as your skilled hireling is really good because she can now just be like, give me ingredients and I make potions.
Yeah.
I will say that now, once with these 2 greater healing potions, she's probably run dry on her supplies. So you'll need to buy more supplies when you get into a port or a town.
Sure.
Does anybody else want a great? I want to take one. Does anyone else want to take one?
I think I've still got some.
I've got a healing potion in.
Yeah, I've still got one.
This is a greater healing potion, though. So.
Yeah, I've still got a greater on me.
Yeah, same.
Cool.
Yeah.
In which case, I'll take 2 for now.
Bam.
Just throw it
So-
down your face.
Greylano, kind of tending to you, looks over and she's like, well, I suppose I can start making some potions while you are recovering. You need to make sure that you have plenty of rest. I will keep an eye on Noah, and she's kind of addressing all of you in the office thing. I will keep an eye on Nova, so I will not be able to completely focus on the potions, but I will do my best. We will need to stock up on supplies the next time we are in a place of trade. I've run dry on herbs and poultices and that sort of thing, so that is acceptable.
How's Nova doing?
She will address you privately and kind of maybe address Sentry and Quill at the same time, kind of pull you into a side room while Nova is sent back to rest a bit more. It is difficult. Like I mentioned last time, there is something inherently magical about what has happened, something that I cannot entirely explain myself. I have tried small amounts of healing magic, potions, poultices. It does not seem to be working. Whatever Nova did, wherever you were, she forced her body beyond a point that it should naturally be able to take. And the influence of whatever magic, wherever you were, is causing issues with the flesh. Her hand is necrotizing. It is dying. The flesh of her arm is slowly fading and falling off.
What can we do about that?
I've tried everything I can, and I'm not sure I have beyond the power of the gods, beyond powerful magic that I don't think any of us possess. I'm not sure. I will do my best. If worst comes to worst, I can amputate, but the hand seems to be functioning. It's just the flesh, the muscle is decaying.
Is there a way to stabilize or maybe protect her flesh from the outside elements so that we can
I've tried
preserve as much as we can?
I've tried preserving it with both spells and liquids and chemicals. It does not seem to be affecting it. Normally there's a spell, Gentle Repose, which can preserve a dead body from decaying. That has no effect on the hand.
It doesn't.
Thanks, Mark.
Is it spreading beyond her arm? Is it limited
Seem
there?
to be. It seems to be up to perhaps the elbow, just beyond, but then it stops.
Okay.
I think that Nova's been quite delirious in her explanation, but I think she willingly knew that she was doing something to her body, but not what. And I think that she had a reaction, and her body stopped her before she could do anything more dangerous to herself. It was very, very reckless what she did, but from the sounds of it, she seemed to think it was necessary. So.
No, it was necessary. You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that.
No.
No.
How did she know to do that as well?
Yeah.
Like what?
That's something you'll need to ask her, I'm afraid.
I mean, it must be tied to Silver Edge and the life-draining things that they do, but
There is perhaps a small risk with it. The hand itself is displaying necromantic tendencies. I have placed a few organic materials near her hand. At first it was just simply an apple I was eating myself. And when it was near to Nova's hand, it began to decay rapidly. There may be an element of... It may become a weapon that she could use, but anything living that touches or is near her hand seems to necrofy.
Is it draining life from around? Maybe that's how it can recover, if it drains enough from around itself.
Is that not sounding like a corrupted Eterna to you?
It is, but
Same residual effects,
Yeah.
draining life.
if she had Tiangong on her, should we be worried that any of that effect, is Tiangong corrupted now? Beyond the arm?
Yes, are we feeding it apples?
I guess we should try, but also, I guess we should also try and stay away from the arm ourselves.
Can the opposite happen? So, you know, these Eternas get fed life in order to become corrupted but powerful.
Yeah.
Is there a way to utilize Tiangong to repair Nova?
Would that be giving away some of its own force, though?
We could ask Helios. Is
Could
he
ask
with you
Helios,
right
yeah.
now?
Helios, when you got back, I think would have separated for some time, the events being quite traumatic. He is on the ship, but you haven't seen him in a while.
Okay.
Like, maybe in the last few hours, he's not there. He's not up on the captain's deck or anything like that.
Well, when Nova's a bit more conscious, we'll have a chat with her,
Yeah.
perhaps.
Kim,
Yo!
I'm doing something to your character sheet.
Cool.
Ah, it's full of blood.
It's just disappeared.
Her health is draining away. Oh, weird.
I know. Yeah.
0. 0 health.
You're being renamed.
She's dead.
She is Starbane.
Oh my god.
Nova.
It was you!
Servant of Hadar.
I
Wait,
think probably at that point, like when you're saying like if she's more conscious, I think you'll probably just hear like a random cut in over the communication rings, and you'll just hear like, yo ho, a pirate's life for me.
I take it off. Take the messenger ring off.
Got weeks to go.
For Nova, recovering down in the medical area,
Just on my own. Nobody's come visit me yet,
Ayla did.
apart from Ayla.
And it's
Guys.
funny. It's funny you mention it because there is not really a knock at the door, but the door opens, and a very soft golden light just floods into the room itself, as a very tall, muscular lion man enters.
He gave himself that body.
You would.
That was
I mean,
Work for
yes, I would as well.
Helios kind of has to duck his head in, having been very tall, and kind of steps into the room, scans around, kind of awkwardly. You kind of notice you don't read people very well, but there is this kind of awkward, like looking around, and then sort of sees you and shuts the door, and stands kind of side to the bed, folds his arms. Are you well, Nova Vija? Are you recovering?
Oh, hey, Helios. You look good today.
The doctor did warn me that perhaps you were a little delirious. Perhaps now is not the best time.
I'm really happy that you're here, Helios. I just want you to know that.
You are very peculiar. You
I've been
are
told that before.
far too kind and earnest. I'm not used to it in your mortal beings. Many of your kind are manipulative. You are controlling, ambitious. You do not seem to be any of these things. I thought perhaps that it was an act. I thought perhaps that you were attempting to manipulate me in the way that I thought that you had been manipulating Tiangong. But having seen what you did aboard Aegis 5, I know that not to be true now. You have a good soul, Nova Vija. You have proven me wrong. And I'm sorry.
Oh, thank you. I don't know what to say. I mean, I always, Tiangong I don't want to use them that way. You know, whatever power I have is because of Tiangong. I didn't ask for it, but at the same time, I won't misuse it. And all I want is to bring Tiangong back together. That's all I want. And yeah, I'm glad that you believe me now. And I'm glad you're safe, Helios.
Your friend Sentry is an excellent guardian. I'm pleased to be working with her to help protect her and the rest of you. I will watch over you as best I can.
But he kind of gestures to your arm.
But do be careful. Callus Starbane is not a man you should trust. His weapons are dangerous. They are there to kill and to cause harm. You saw what he did to Silver Edge. He would do that to all of us if he had the chance. Rest well.
He just kind of reaches a big, huge paw, just kind of pats you on the head awkwardly, and then just kind of brings himself up to his full height, and then lifts the door open, kind of casts one long glance your way, and then steps through.
I'll just give him a little wave.
Aerois comes and finds the rest of you. Well, we've got the course plotted. Captain, the word? Are we to head to this city of glass?
Oh, yes, at once.
Very well.
Is that what they say is Captain?
I think so. One thing I should mention, Quill. I was talking to Kamara and some of the others who they've been on airships more than myself.
Okay.
Kosadi, we are passing nearby, yes?
Yes.
Along the path. They mentioned that the Dragonborn, their military or something, they can be a little protective of their airspace. Normally, people that travel through it have papers, that sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
I mean, surely we can just explain our situation, but I thought I should let you know.
I mean, we've...
Time is of the essence. It would extend our trip considerably to fly around Kosade.
Okay. How long would it be to...
We would need to travel effectively over Suvona, around Suvona, and then onwards through across most of Giselle. It would add at least another 2 weeks of our journey, I expect.
Okay, I don't know how much time we have left. I guess Saint Sentry's not here.
As a pirate, sometimes they would send out ships to inspect our cargo and things like that, and perhaps we did not always have the right papers. Sometimes you can just speak to people and pay them a little gold, and you can go on your way.
How much would you expect we'd pay to the Dragonborn military?
Surely there is something. It's up to you. I just thought I should let you know. Kamara mentioned it. She's not served on a ship that has passed over it before. This is stuff that she's heard.
Okay, and they won't react violently? Maybe. Okay.
Aerois is like, I wish this is unfortunately where my inexperience as an airship captain comes in. I'm used to the sea. I'm used to sailing down below. The orc fleets do not operate in this way. Some of the human civilizations and the other lander cultures, they have these ports and authorities and fees and that sort of thing. But orcs, we do not worry about these things. So.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's a choice between a quick journey that could be suddenly a lot longer, or a long journey that's safe. What do you think, Lucius?
If we wait any longer and Sentry gets worse in that time, that hangs heavy on us making that decision. I think we should try and go through it.
Sure, that makes sense.
Worst case scenario is we get turned away and we do the long route.
Well, not the worst case, but not the best either.
We don't have to go in aggressively.
No,
Be
we won't.
diplomatic about it.
I've never... how common are Dragonborn? They're not super...
Not super common. So the history all of you would have on the basics, the basic history of Dragonborn you have is that they were rebels. They came from the astral space. They came from a planet called Draconis, which was basically under Callus's rule. They stole several of his big warships and basically rebelled and fled to Aerois. And they were the ones who warned Siaska Callus was coming.
They basically arrived in Aerois on these giant golden crystal ships, told Siaska that Callus was coming, offered themselves to serve Siaska and to basically help defend the planet. And then when the cradle was surrounded, they basically become trapped on Aerois as well.
Right, okay.
Their ships, as soon as the cradle sprang to life, the ships basically seemed to just run out of power. They don't function anymore.
So at least a joint interest.
If we have to explain our situation,
But yeah, still quite rare.
Yeah.
I think we've got a noble cause,
At least they'll sympathise, I suppose.
and we've got 2 Eterna with us.
Yeah. Although Eterna's normally a Starbane thing to have, right?
They were utilized. However, Helios is very anti-Starbane and can.
I think we've got enough bargaining chips to get through.
I think so.
Okay, in that case, I think the shorter journey.
All right. She kind of slaps her thigh, starts bellowing orders. Look out, get up in the nest. Kamara, get your people, we're setting sail. And goes up to the wheel and just kind of tips the hat. And then feel air rush into the sails of the Stormchaser. The dark mist around the outside begins to form, the illusory magic kind of creating this dark cloud along its bow and along its starboard. I don't know ships. And
right.
you set sail, and the journey begins. So I know that Grey Lano is going to work on some healing potions. Is there anything you guys want to talk about yourselves, or is there any kind of downtime stuff you want to do?
Yeah. I'm going to see Nova at some point.
Okay. All right, so Lucius
Near
wants
the
to
end of
talk.
the trip. After this set sail thing.
Okay, so Lucius
after
wants to go talk to Nova. Yep.
I'm going to go pit fighting.
You can carouse with the crew?
Yeah, I feel like the reason for it is to get on the side of the wolves, down with the people, but also alleviate some stress and feel like I'm getting stronger.
Feel alive.
Okay.
And
Sure.
because I felt slightly weak at the point of giving up.
So you really just want to get in and have like a bit of a scrap and kind of get a bit rowdy? Yeah.
Little rock
sure.
and tumble.
Okay. Great.
Wrestling.
I love it.
I'm throwing
Ding, ding, ding.
aside my formalities and
Perfect. All right.
a bit more primal.
Lucius, that's Lucius. Anything from Sentry or Quill? Or Nova as well. Nova, you are unwell.
Yeah.
So any kind of downtime activity would probably be done with not quite disadvantage, but like a penalty. But you can still move around. You can still move around. You can still do stuff. But you are slowly recovering. There's 2 things you notice. We'll go into it into a bit more detail. You are unwell. You feel physically weak. You're very pain sensitive across your whole body. And you just feel like a general, not lethargy, but just fatigue and exhaustion kind of overwhelming you. So yeah, and then we'll come to other effects a bit later on.
Thanks. I mean, you're really.
Don't touch your face with
So-
your weird hand.
What hand is it, by the way? Is it right or left?
Left.
Okay.
Hand.
I've gone.
Mine's left.
I think it was
five.
right.
Right.
I think it was when you were doing it, you used your right hand.
Okay, right
I
hand.
think. Chat will correct us, but
Okay. So I've gone from 70 hit points to 57 hit points.
Ooh, that's a 13 drop.
That's number one.
Wang.
Cool.
But yeah, maybe there's other things that you might get out of this that are maybe not positive but useful.
Because of the necrotic thing, if I wrap my scarf around it, does that damage the scarf or anything? Is that
Doesn't
okay?
damage the scarf, but like right now, you look down at your arm,
Oh god.
Nova, and Greylana has bandaged it, but you just can't help yourself. Like you pull some of the bandages away, and it's weird. There's no smell. It's just, you can see the flesh is just falling off. Like the muscle has turned black and gray. As you peel the bandages, huge chunks of skin come off with it, and you can begin to see the bone. But the hand still functions. It's numb. You can barely feel anything with it, but you can move your fingers, you can move your hands. You still have fine motor control.
Yeah.
And the bones seem fine. But it's just
That's
melting off.
Hope you all found those 6 seconds worth it.
Trust me, those 6 seconds were worth it.
Yeah. Okay, can
If you want to start experimenting and examining your own condition,
Yeah,
Finger same.
I think I want.
Oh, don't know.
I'm really sad I'm not wearing my skeleton jumper today. It's in the wash. Next week, I'll wear my skeleton jumper next week.
So I think with the scarf, it's like you could wrap it around, but it would probably get kind of gross. It wouldn't damage it, maybe.
Okay. Can I do two things? One thing, I in a second, I do want to like have a fiddle. But first of all, when no one's here, can I just very quietly make sure no one's around, and then take the crystal out of my pocket?
Oh yes, the ILS.
And just whisper, "Hello, ILS."
Okay, as soon as you say the words ILS, the crystal pops out of your hand, flies into the middle of the room, and an illusory humanoid shape appears around it. A figure in dark armor with purple power glowing through it, long dark hair, and his eyes kind of flicker open as if kind of awakening from a sleep. So you did take me with you. Thank you.
Well, I said I would, and if you deactivated the drone, and that's what you did, so I did the thing. That's that. What? Yeah.
You are very naive. Not everyone would have simply agreed to the terms. I really did not have much of a choice. You could have asked for a lot more. But still, thank you for sticking to your word. I respect those who have a code.
So what exactly are you? You seem to have enough intelligence to be just a program, right?
You are a scholar, I can tell by the dress, the scrolls, the books you carry. Do you understand magic? Are you a wizard or magician?
I guess you would class me as a warlock.
Ah, yes. Of the fiendish variety? Have you made pacts with powerful entities, or...?
So for podcast listeners, Nova's sort of like just looking up, looking nervously.
It doesn't look like he can... Callus could sense you had Tiangong.
Yeah.
The ILS can't.
Okay. So I'll be like, yes, you could say I made a pact with an entity. Yes.
But not of the fiendish type. A devil or a demon.
No, nothing devilish so far.
It is more. That is good. They are not entirely trustworthy. To understand it, think of me as an illusion, a very complex, very powerful, programmed illusion. I am limited in the things I can do, the things I can talk about. But I have Callus's memories. I have his tactical knowledge. I was gifted to the commanders of his ships and his stations, so that they always would have access to our Emperor's vast stores of knowledge and understanding of the enemy.
How loyal are you to Mr. Starbane?
I am an illusion created in his image. I can only think as Callus does. The question, therefore, is, how loyal is Callus to himself? The Emperor's will is quite unbreaking.
What date, before we encountered you, what date were you last active? What date are you aware of?
I'm aware of the time that has happened since communications with Callus and the main force was interrupted. I should warn you, as you seem a fair sort, that the Eladrin Shansara has updated me to the temporary solution on Aerois, Callus's retreat to beyond this cradle that it is called. But I was aware of the time spent. I had not been activated since the final days of the battle on Aerois. But my systems were still operational. My magic still coursed through the Astral Citadel, and so I was still aware of what was happening. But Shansara has updated me to much of what has happened since.
So do you know what happened to the Astral Citadel?
Yes. Do you wish to know?
Yes, please. Why was it destroyed?
It was Aegis 5 was a shielding facility. It provided defensive opportunities to the nearby warships, supply ships, that sort of thing. It also operated as somewhat of a forward operating base, providing logistical support, troop modifications. We had a series of life pods, perfect for cloning troopers in order to resupply the front lines. However, Palador,
one of the Titans created by Siaska, became aware of this and using the great celestial sunship, laid waste to the station itself. He destroyed the bottom section, destroying several of the escape pods, and the system simply powered down and fell into orbit around Aerois.
Do you have contact with our Lord Mighty Emperor Starbane or Shansara?
He kind of smiles. That is one of those questions I will not be answering.
Oh. Wow. You must be really advanced if you have that ability to make those sort of decisions.
I am extremely advanced, and I am not the only one. There are many ILSs out there. I am one of a great system.
Oh.
Created by the Emperor himself. Myself, I should say.
You mentioned cloning.
Tom's freaking out over there. Yes.
We saw a facility, a room that had large glass pods, I guess, like in the medical bay.
Yes.
What race of creatures were you cloning?
The detailed information is classified, and you are not of the Starbane Empire, but I am not. It is not against my programming or abilities to tell you that many creatures from all sorts of worlds. Many bear resemblances to the creatures you have here on Aerois. I have seen your similar creatures to yourself, elemental-based creatures, creatures of fey natures and fey varieties, fiends, humanoids, many types of creatures. All sorts. It is one of the ways that we are able to expand our troops to constantly replenish our supply against Hadar.
So, is it classified information if you told me what Starbane's current plan is vis-a-vis Hadar?
The objective is as it has always been. The great insatiable hunger must be destroyed.
I mean,
the Red Star must stop its reign of death.
I agree with you about that, and I'd like to help and stop that. But specifically, what are his plans on Aerois?
That is classified information.
That's classified information, isn't it?
Of course.
Can Hadar be
You
stopped?
seem very interested in Callus and Hadar's plans.
I want to stop Hadar.
Then you should join Callus.
Yeah, turns out you can't really go around saying that around here, because everyone looks at you like you're crazy.
Of course. Your people have been misguided by the creations of Siaska. You know that they are not real gods, don't you?
So what?
They are not real gods. Callus was very well informed on this matter. The ones that you follow, their names Palador, Hesper, Atelicus, Sayana, these creatures are not true divines. They were created by Siaska. They are titans.
So what's Starbane?
He was once a man, a mortal man, but he had a great destiny before him. He found immortality and power. He and Siaska were very close. I have their memories. They are fond. They make me feel joy and sorrow at the same time. They were happy together once, traveling the universe. They fought Hadar in all of its forms, tried to stem the tide. They loved each other quite deeply. But then they began to drift.
But they had a child, right?
Strange. I have memories of discussions, but not of any child being formed, no.
Well,
perhaps that was before my creation, or after my creation.
Sounds like it.
You should consider on the things I have said. If you truly wish to stop Hadar, there is only one way. What was your name?
I'm Nova, I shouldn't have told you, Vija.
Nova Vija.
It was Nova 20 times, actually.
He's smart enough to tell. You are very clever.
I'm not feeling it right now.
You are. You recognize the greater threat. You were smart enough to save me. I am potentially a very useful tool and asset to you.
Yeah, you're also potentially going to backstab me and tell.
I am incapable of these things.
Okay.
I am just an illusion. I cannot harm you. I cannot cause you any danger.
But can you communicate?
And if I could, why would that be a risk to you? You have done nothing to harm Callus's plans. It looks at you.
Just instant poker face.
Let's see how good it is. Roll a deception check.
Oh,
Don't forget, you're unwell. It's made with disadvantage.
no.
Because I'm into
So I rolled
wow.
a 18 and a 17 plus 4, so
wow.
17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
For once in your life, you keep the poker face.
I'm learning!
You're just too ill.
It just looks at you.
Okay.
You have done nothing to harm Callus's plans, have you not?
I don't think so.
Then you have nothing to fear.
We killed an agent of Hadar. It was this woman. She had a face like a red star. It was horrible.
One of the corrupted. This is worrisome. If they have arrived at Aerois, it means that Hadar's influence can penetrate this cradle that Siaska created. This is worrying. Have you told the Emperor?
I don't know how to communicate with him.
I will think on this. Perhaps there is something in my memory that can let you communicate with him. It would be disadvantageous to you if you were caught speaking with me. I will return to the device. Speak ILS when you wish to summon me.
Okay, bye.
Dink, 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 dink. And it just lands on the floor. At this point, Lucius enters.
Whoa! Oh, let's just breathe from.
Why are you guys
Did you want to join Lucius, by the way, like Sentry and Quill?
Why
Do you
y'all
guys want to go down and see
stressing?
Nova?
Yeah, I mean,
Lucius is.
Okay, so everyone busts in the room.
all of that was
Can I just can I quickly scoop up like the ILS?
So you come in to see Nova like putting something in a bag or something like that.
but I mean, you forgot to turn off the messenger ring, so we heard all that, right?
No, you have to activate the messenger ring.
I very much made sure there was no one around because I know y'all judgmental when I'm like, we need to
Unless
speak
you
to Daddy
say I'm
Starbase."
sending this through the messenger ring, it's normal conversation.
You know that gif of the dog that has like a
Yeah.
moment? That was that with that quality.
Yeah.
Okay. They're like that.
Oh boy.
Tommy, hey boy.
Man, I didn't hear any of that.
No, you didn't.
la, la,
You come in
It's your
and see
fault for not
Nova.
visiting me sooner.
Yeah. I mean, I heard all through the door. It's fine.
We just eavesdrop with a glass against the door.
The other side of the ship, I've got high enough perception. I heard it all.
Nah.
I heard it all. And I heard it now.
And then I heard it all. So,
Nova.
Hi.
It is really smelly in here, Nova.
Really? Smell anything?
smells like herbs and stuff.
And decay.
No, that's the thing is it doesn't smell. The arm doesn't
BO?
give any smell. Maybe.
Yeah.
Hey.
I definitely smell a BO. I am a mess today because we came straight off the flight.
In the.
No.
That was a weird admission.
Can I, while they're all crowding in,
Yeah.
presumably
Are you
with
all-
gifts,
are you all
right?
crowding in?
Like
Yeah.
grapes and stuff.
Yeah.
Can I? How feasible is it to cast a spell subtly?
If it has, it depends.
No,
Does it have verbal, somatic components? It normally has a V or an S next to it.
Try to hide it
Which
from
ones?
me.
Both?
Thank you. All
Okay.
the S and M.
Okay, so it has material components you can substitute with Tiangong potentially. So verbal means you have to go, I'm casting a spell. Somatic means you have to do like this kind of stuff to cast it. So it depends on how well Nova can mix those things into another activity. Why don't you make a sleight of hand with disadvantage?
Hand. Why do you have to say hand?
Just the one. Just the
One
hand,
hand
actually.
about me. Ooh, that was poor. 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, well, spelling casting.
Major image.
Okay, major image. What are you creating?
Well, I don't want to.
You want to hide the hand. Okay. Nova casts a spell. You see Nova like go, hey, good everybody, and like wave her hands, and her arm seems to shimmer and change color for a moment.
What was that?
What's that?
Oh, that was nothing. That's my. It's the herbs that Dr. Greylano put on. They're a bit shiny.
I mean,
You just
you can choose to disbelieve or believe, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Do I know
you
the spell she cast?
Some sort of illusion spell. You literally saw like the illusory image kind of like fade over the bandages, but you didn't see what was beneath them.
It's okay, Nova. We've been informed.
Yeah.
Of what's happening.
Milano told us
Yeah.
what's been
It's
happening.
fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's
Well,
fine.
yeah, it will be.
Yeah.
But we know right now it's not quite so good.
I don't think you want to see it though.
No, I'm quite squeamish. I'd rather not see it.
Yeah.
if
I
I'm
mean,
honest.
we've all been through plenty to have to look on things that we don't want to be true.
I mean, I guess we did look at Hadar's servant with the.
Yeah.
We also need to see kind of, what the threat is.
There's no threat. Who said threat? There's no threat. It's just my arm.
The forces of Starbane caused that on you, technically.
No, not really. I caused it. I did it by. Yeah, actually, yeah.
The
technically, you
portal
are right.
kind of hurt you, did it not? So you could keep it open.
Well, I mean, all I did was I thought maybe I could. If I thought about the Eterna, right, and how Starbane uses Eterna to power things, so I thought maybe I would be able to power the portal using me.
So, what did you feed
I guess my life,
to?
the portal.
But that's not an Eterna.
No, I acted as an Eterna.
What?
Remember?
You're an Eterna?
No. Remember when
Are you sure? What if you are an Eternal?
I'm the last piece of Tiangong. No.
Tian going, oh la la.
it was.
Tiangong was the friends we made along the way.
Fuck you. I don't know exactly what happened, okay? There was a lot of panicking and shouting and crying and screaming and alarms and warning, oxygen levels dropping and friendship. And I just thought of when Sentry destroyed Silver Edge and all that stuff, the life came out. And I thought, well, if that's what's then maybe we can power the and maybe it was my bond with Tiangong. And that's just what I thought of. I didn't know what I was doing. I just...
That's a little. I mean, don't get me wrong. You probably single-handed. You probably.
I want to know if that was intentional or not. Okay.
Oh, Chris Trot.
You probably saved our lives.
Yeah,
She definitely saved our lives.
In particular, mine.
Well, of
So
course.
I was at the bank.
you made a sacrifice that allowed us all to be here, and you shouldn't be the one to pay the price on your own.
But of course, I didn't know what else to do, and it's fine.
Well, we are obviously
Put it there.
we are obviously grateful of what you've done, but you shouldn't have to hide what has happened to you, especially from us.
Okay, but he's gonna faint, and I point at
He's going to
Lucius.
faint even
I'll
if he
stand
shows you
behind
an
him.
actual arm.
Essentially just holds Lucius.
Just
Hold him up.
don't worry, okay?
Nova.
Don't worry about this. It's fine. It's
Look how
fine.
far we've come. I am stronger now.
Stronger than you were yesterday.
The setup, it's just getting set up.
Can't wait
Okay,
for the payoff.
I'll hold my arm out and I'll dispel the spell.
Okay.
And yeah, I guess before you'll see a bandaged, well,
Mostly bandaged.
mostly bandaged arm. And and I'll start peeling the bandage away.
And as she does, you just see like skin and muscle pulling with it, and now it's very clearly like you see just this bone, this stark white bone in amongst this grey, black, mottled flesh that's just peeling and falling off. And it's really, the bandage is keeping it together, but it doesn't look like it's going to last very long. Maybe a couple of days before all of the muscle and flesh just putrefies away. There is no smell, but there is a strange coldness.
Oh, Nova.
It's honestly, it's really bad.
I mean,
I can still move it and I can still use it. Like, and I'm saying that I'm kind of moving my hand around and flexing the digits and.
for a flesh
Well, it's like-
around.
but the thing is the more she moves it, like the more the muscle gets disconnected from like the bone, and it just begins like shifting. Like you see like big chunks just like.
Look at that.
So she's moving. But you're moving it without the muscle itself. So there must be some magic in there.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I haven't had a lot of chance to investigate, but
But I mean, we initially thought that you'd been giving up your life force to power it,
Yeah.
but it seems like you got something out of it as well to, well, keep it alive.
Yes.
Quill, with your intelligence, because I know you have a decent intelligence, you would vaguely remember that when the Eterna feed on life, well, in the Rose Hall, it created specters. Ayla, there were like ghost-like creatures that came after Valor. And Silver Edge itself seemed to be some sort of undead creature.
Were there back on the road to Rose Hall? Were there like dogs? Is it like the same as those?
Were there zombie dogs?
It looks.
Yeah, we fought like a zombie
Well, I mean,
dog.
Sentry, you know that you can sense undeath. You can sense like celestials and fiends and things like that. Like,
Yeah.
you could try that if you wanted to.
Yeah, I can give it a go. Yeah.
Use one of your divine senses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, divine sense. Yeah. let's do
So
it.
what is this like for Sentry? How does Sentry use this ability?
So, I guess she would put her hand on Nova's arm, and then her,
On the
on the
necrotizing arm.
yeah, and then her matrix would just softly pulse with like a purple light.
I mean, the Matrix is about to vanish.
Okay, so the matrix begins pulsing. So two things happen. The first is as you touch Nova's arm, you sense this deep cold, and you feel it trying to suck the life force out of you as you touch it.
Okay.
You take 8 necrotic damage.
Oh.
You take 8 necrotic damage, but as the divine sense flares, the pulse kind of radiates out. And it's like it's not sensing a fully undead creature, but the arm itself is undead. Just the arm.
Okay.
It has been transformed from living material into undead material. And whilst it kind of stops where it does, Nova still doesn't count as an undead, but if this had continued, like, it could have potentially started taking over more of her body and she would have transformed into an undead being. It's just doused in necrotic energy, and you kind of have to pull your hand away as you feel it's kind of biting necrotic cold into your hand.
Yeah, and as soon if I do you
I just, like, rip my hand away
do
like,
you show pain? Like
yeah.
I'll be like, no, don't touch it, no, don't, no.
So wait, why? So now this,
Didn't Grey Lano tell you?
I mean, yes, but
your arm is undead, Nova. If it's undead. If you'd carried on, you would have been you could have been undead. All of you.
Guess it's better than being dead.
We'd still be on that ship if it wasn't for you, Nova. So you're braver than all of us.
Yes, you are.
So thank you for doing that, Nova. Thank you so much.
It's fine, of course, guys. Of course, it's not going to spread, is it?
I mean,
It looks like it feels like it stopped right where it finishes.
yeah,
So-
Grey Lano doesn't think so.
Okay, because I don't think.
What does the edge look like, actually? Is it like a...
I don't know if like Nova pulls up the sleeve, because her sleeves, come down just to
right,
roll
yeah.
her sleeves up. The coat, by the way, obviously where you touched it, yeah, it's kind of shredded and torn and tattered. But yeah, like as Nova pulls it up, you can see that as it reaches the kind of just past her elbow near her bicep, the flesh does begin to solidify, and it becomes much more just dark, dull grey, and then it fades back into the blue of her
So
own
it's a
skin.
gradual thing, not like
So
a hard-
it turns into it, yeah, and it kind of like you think that the actual flesh will probably all evaporate from just below the elbow, and then from the elbow joint, most of that flesh is still intact, but very tattered and torn, almost like it had been shredded, right? And then it turns back into normal skin. If you've ever played World of Warcraft and you know the Forsaken race, very similar.
Yeah. Them polygons.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, we don't know a lot about what the arm is right now. But I mean, it doesn't look like it's spreading beyond the last, how long have we been here now?
A couple of hours.
Oh, a couple of hours, so probably not worthwhile.
And it
Four-
doesn't
4
hurt.
hours.
You doesn't feel any pain.
I don't feel anything. Like it's a bit cold and.
It doesn't look that bad.
Oh, are you sorry? Are you okay? And I have
Yes.
my arm on my back. How are you feel? You're not dizzy?
No,
Okay.
I was just thinking. maybe, let's try, and I'm going to take my gauntlet off.
Oh, the accumulator.
Prismatic gauntlet.
Okay, yeah.
Just try it on.
What?
And see if it will help or maybe absorb some of its power.
No, I don't want to. Your sister made that. I don't want to. I don't want to damage it.
You won't damage it. It's made by my sister.
But I don't know. I don't know exactly what this does yet. Mark hasn't told me. And
I've never used this.
I don't want to. I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to ruin it, Lucius.
It could help.
I feel fine though. I can still cast spells and I can still write and I can.
Well,
I just can't touch things. I can't touch.
just try and see if you can. If you just slip it on for a second, it's just a device. It's not going to. It's not organic in any way.
If you deactivate it.
Yeah.
So when you actually deactivate it, all the kind of clasps that kind of wrap around your arm pop out and then constrict. And what you end up with is kind of like a fingerless metal glove. And you can see that there are gemstones in the finger, like a metal glove with like a big prism in the palm and then little tiny prisms in each fingertip and thumb tip. It kind of extends to the wrist, and then it has like a long line, like a long kind of metal, not quite tube, but like metal piece of chain or string that kind of like flows up.
Is there anything organic on it? Like
it's all metal.
So it's all metal.
All
so,
metal.
Okay.
It's been created, crafted.
It might make you feel better about your hand at least.
I feel fine. I feel fine. You know, you guys
It
survived.
might
and
make
that's...
me feel better about your hand.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you know,
You're not going to feel sad
because
though.
it's bad for you.
If this, you're not going to feel bad though.
Not
if this...
because I feel woozy. It's fine.
Okay.
Just try it on.
Do you want me to just hide this? I can just hide it. Look, I'll just stick my hand behind my back.
You're not going to be able to do that when we face people like Starbane, because we're going to face Starbane.
It's also worth knowing if whatever it's doing, you can do through material, gloves or otherwise.
Okay, and I'll very gingerly slip it on. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. You place it on, and you've seen Lucius activate this before. You twist. The metal things. Where some of the flesh is loose, it does kind of catch on the flesh, and little chunks of it kind of get stuck and things like that. But it goes up all the way up to the shoulder. Very Winter Soldier from thing. And yeah, you can move your arm. The gauntlet seems fine. There's no sense of magical connection. You think that whatever this ability allows Lucius to do, you don't think you could do it. You can't attune to the item. You're not a chromatic sorcerer. But yeah, do you want to try and touch stuff?
Is there anything in this room like flowers or an apple?
Yeah, there's flowers. Sure.
I guess.
It's a doctor's ward,
They
right?
have
They always have
flowers?
flowers. There's always flowers there.
Someone brought me some flowers, right? Friends.
You're in the middle of the
I
ocean.
got a flower in my hair.
Yeah, I'm not touching that. I just don't want to. I don't want to. I can take one out. I don't want to ruin it. Oh, okay. So I'll take it with my good hand and then gingerly touch it with my bad hand.
The prismatic gauntlet's all metal, which is a non-living material. It's fine. Flower's fine. There's probably like some coldness, but yeah.
Oh. It must be because, well, it's inorganic material, so it means I'm not touching.
I mean, that's a good protector at least.
Yeah. Well, but no, I couldn't because this was made by your sister for you to help you with your magic. But knowing this, I can make something. I could make something. I'm sure we have the materials.
You could make like a metal glove. Obviously, Aerois is a very skilled artificer. You don't think you could make something with as much mobility. Like this is like wearing skin. It's just like an arm.
Yeah.
If you made something, it probably wouldn't be as good, but you could definitely make like a metal gauntleted hand.
To shield it.
That could just, you could have it like, like a prosthetic arm, like you could hold like an object or something, and then you could take it off when you wanted to use more fine motor control.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely you could make something. It's like getting a metal gauntlet from a plate of armor. You know?
Yeah.
We've got a few weeks travel.
Yeah.
Well, you just hold on to it while you tinker, and then that way you can touch things.
You just want me to clean it before I give it back to you, don't you?
No.
Worry, I would. I will.
Yes, well, absolutely. Hygiene is of the utmost importance, and it's only because of that I hold high standards.
I like to think as you say that, just another glob of flesh just drops on.
Yep.
Absolutely fine.
Okay. All right. So with that done, so we're going to take a quick break in a second, but just before, Lucius wants to do some carousing with the crew, like fighting and drinking and that sort of thing. Quill and Sentry, anything in particular you want to do when we come back from break?
Yeah, I want to make. I want to write up as many like healing word scrolls.
Okay, just write out like what you want and what level you want them to be, and then we can talk prices during the break and stuff.
Sure. Okay.
All right, Sentry, any kind of like downtimey stuff or roleplay stuff you want to do?
I think I'd probably sit in my quarters just conserving power, like sit down half powered down. Like
So basically, like, take like long rests,
long
like
rest,
kind of like half power down.
like write a letter and then yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna like write a little letter and stuff.
I've written one already.
Oh no, I can't read this. Who's
know,
this
it's-
for? Nova. Okay, so you just keep that
I'm gonna keep them there.
until need to. Okay, all right. So
Cool.
we're gonna take a quick break.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay and read some donations while the guys grab a quick break. And then we'll jump back into the action in a minute. So
Nice.
we've been doing this, by the way. If you've not been around the show for the last couple of weeks, we've stopped doing like formal breaks, and now we just kind of just jump into reading donations, and then we just run straight back into it.
Yeah.
It's a lot shorter.
Yeah, go grab some drinks.
So we'll be
stuff,
back.
you guys.
Well, the game will begin again very soon.
5
Yeah,
minutes. I'm
5
gonna read some donos. Cool.
Tactical piss.
Tactical piss.
TP.
Hey chat. Hey. I'm gonna wait till everyone goes, and I'm gonna have like a little quiet, intimate moment with chat.
I want to swap over to the big cam as well.
Yeah. Swap it to the big cam. Swap it to that big cam. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey chat. It's me, Mark Humes on Late Night Radio. Don't touch that camera. No, you've ruined Wirecast now, Tom.
I'll fix it.
Okay, sure. First of all, thanks Olarenve for your donation, but no message. I'm not going to do that whole time, I promise. Hyper LL, Hyper Lure, thank you for the 500 bits. Hi y'all, please don't stress my poor little heart today. Thanks. Well, I think we've done okay so far, maybe a little bit, but thank you very much for 500 bits. That Norwegian guy, smack me ass and call me a goblin. It's live. After a long time of catching up, I can finally catch you live again. Been looking forward to this session for too long, aka 1 week. Well, thank you very much, that Norwegian guy. Hyper L, Tom, summon Scorb, quick. Thank you very much for 300 bits, or $3. Frank the NPC, quarter, hundo. Thank you very much, Frank. Guys, it's been too long. Good to see you all wonderful people again. Episode prediction, Quill abuses his new sea animal powers to somehow become worse version of Aquaman. The rest of the wacky sloths get brookstoned again, this time by an actual stone. That is a excellent prediction, Frank. Thank you very much. Ahimens, Faye's friend, not food, Tom. By the way, love the stream. If you ever find yourself in South Texas, would love to treat you to some good old barbecue. Oh, I would love that. I fucking love barbecue. It's so good. Nightjar, Kim and Mark, hope you and Nina and Ted had the best time in Italy. Also, give Katie our love, please. Of course we will, Nightjar. We did have a very lovely time at Luca. Thank you very much. Pal, I miss you. I miss streaming, though. Magma Jaw, just wanted to let Mark know I used his Bowsette monster in a Halloween one-shot. It was such a blast watching the NPCs face their first legendary monster. Amazing. Also wanted to let you know, Lydia said she would love to be a guest sometime. We'd love to have lids, big lids. If she doesn't play a Goliath or a half-orc, I'm going to be very sad. No, absolutely. We had Boof. I'd love to have lids. Get big lids. Get those big lids in chat. Aaron, with a very generous donation of a $38 dues, would love to be part of something as amazing as High Rollers. You guys showed me crit roll and got me into using D&D Beyond. You're so inspirational and lovely. You all deserve an award or something for how fantastically exciting and successful you are. Here's the thing, Aaron. Just stop playing D&D with your friends. Then you can be in something as epic and awesome as High Rollers. That's all it is. It's just D&D with friends. A half hundo from Cake Machine 88. Finally caught up on the show, joining the VOD squad this week, but had to donate. Love y'all. Thank you very much. 1,000 bits from Hyperl. Feed the Arm of Hadar. Nova and Hadar, new ship confirmed. 3 Mochi Moon t-shirt available on store.yogscast.com. Use code High Rollers, though. Don't give all the money to Hat Films. Thanks very much. I do love that shirt, actually. I really... Can I get one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want one. Thank you very much, Hyper. Mia Kitty, please be safe this week and avoid the stairs that fall into space. Love your characters too much to see them hurt. Do you know one of my favorite things from last week's episode is the amount of like comments that were like, most dangerous enemy the Aerois crew has faced so far? Loads of stairs. Because that's basically what it became. It became like a desperate battle against a load of stairs. The Guild at Ravenmore, thank you very much for a $10 donation. Aloha Rollers, aloha way. Keep up the good work. The campaign has been something beautiful, and it feels like it's just getting started. I can't wait to see where it goes. I just wish my players took to RP as naturally as you do. Honestly, Guild Ravenmore, I would say that we don't take to RP that naturally. I remember when we first started out playing Lightfall, it wasn't that easy to do. It was kind of a bit awkward and a bit weird, and I think that even now, like, there are some times when it is a bit awkward and a bit weird, and that's okay. And it's okay to just gloss over that stuff sometimes.
I hate emotions.
You do hate emotions. You just don't know if your mic on, so nobody can probably hear you.
I hate emotions.
There you go. Chris Trott does hate emotions. All right, last one I'm going to read for now, and we'll read the rest at the end. Woody, but planning. Hope everyone had a happy Halloween. I had a great fucking Halloween. Slowly catching up on the episodes I missed while working on special something for Christmas for you guys. Ooh. Lots of love as always. Oh, Woody, making some music, are we? Perhaps. Thank you very much, pal. We will read the rest of those at the end of the stream.
Yeah.
Is everyone back? Is everyone ready? Is everyone good?
I had a peek at Sentry's letter. It just said free Shavokadu.
Free Shavokadu! Stop! Nearly dropped my croissant! Amazing.
Man.
So,
well,
friends.
Trot hasn't got his mic on still. He's still chomping down.
Chomping away. Well, this is a great time to remind you that D&D Beyond is our sponsor.
Yes.
And you should go check it out. Just translated the Player's Handbook into Italian. Yeah. So go and check that out. Yeah. I'm using a lot of D&D Beyond today because I didn't have a lot of time to prep the session. So lots of referring to D&D Beyond today.
Yeah. Oh, I guess while we're still doing this little mini break thing,
yeah.
We have, I did read your comments about Portent.
Oh, yes, yeah.
We have addressed it in that...
We've done a compromise.
Yeah, a compromise. So what I originally did was that I was using it to replace every roll, even after they've been rolled.
Yes.
That's not the case.
That's not how Portent works.
I have to use Portent before the rolls.
We've made the decision that for player rolls, that's going to be true. So Tom has to say before the player's roll, I'm going to replace it with one of my portents. But because a lot of my rolls are behind the screen and because I tend to roll very quickly, we're going to say that for enemies, Tom can still just say, like, no, that's a thingy. As long as it's before I tell you what it is.
Yeah.
So, like, if it's like, I'm like, okay, I'm going to make a saving throw, and then you're like, no, he rolled a 2. I'll be like, okay.
Yeah, I think it's because the high-speed nature of high rollers compared to a regular game sort of makes it a little bit less
also,
viable.
like, as DMs in general, it's like, right, spell, okay, I'm going to make a saving throw. You don't even hesitate, you just straight do it, so.
Yeah. Also, I made myself a little concentration token to put on the top of my iPad, so I won't
desperately
forget that again.
We will.
It was my favourite story.
Patreon.
Thanks.
Check
Thanks,
out our
Trot.
Patreon.
Right, everyone mics on?
Yeah, I think we're good to go.
Ready, okay. Well, so, Lucius, what are you actually doing? Like, you want to go down with the crew, and this can take place. This is going to take place over days. This isn't just like a one and done thing. So, do you start going down and trying to join them in their, their drinking, their gambling, their roughhousing? Is that the kind of thing you try and insert yourself into Kamala's crew
and just integrate and see what they get up to and kind of go along with it for a bit, detox, and also understand the social etiquette of wolves.
Okay. Okay.
Get a bit rough and ready.
Ask them where they hide 10 gold coins.
Where they hide 10 gold coins, yep. Top of my list.
So, I think that what we're going to have here, and does anybody want to join Lucius in this?
I think I will after I've written my letter.
I had a scrap with the wolves, that'd tear me to shreds.
So, well, you don't necessarily have to join in the fighting. You could join in like the gambling or like the just getting to know them. Like, this is an opportunity to like, this is a great time. You have this crew, and the Wolfpack so far have just been doing their job. They've not really been interacting with you. You've been off doing adventures and things like that. But there is this distance. There is this kind of like, they just see you as like, yeah, you're the guys who have this airship and you pay us. There's no camaraderie necessarily. They're just professionals in what they do. With the unskilled hirelings, it's a little bit different. They tend to be a little bit more enthused. Penny is a little bit distant, but then Lancian is too friendly with all of you. He's too eager to please. Is it Howard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Howard, Lancian, Lookout, and Penny.
Howard is just doing his job as the cook, but he's also not really particularly good at what he does. He's just doing it because there's nothing else for him to do. And you don't really have a good bead on what he wants, what he's really about. And then same with Lookout. Lookout just does their job because that's what a Guardian does. They just do their job. And Orion you know very well. So do people want to get involved? What do people want to do?
I mean, how busy are like our individual jobs?
Yeah,
of, like,
if I'm like tinkering away on my metal arm.
So if that's what you want to do, then yeah, that would take the place of you being able to join in all the fun, right? Because your day jobs, like for most of the hours of the day, it is taken up by you doing things like you would check all of the stocks, you'll check the navigation maps, make sure you're going in the right direction. For Lucius, it's very much like a case of like people reporting to you and saying like, right, here's today's report on this. This is what the crew are up to. This is what we're doing. We've spotted several islands. Do you want us to go and check them out? Nope. Okay, onward we go. Blah, blah, blah.
I feel like these would be my evenings. This like.
Yeah, this is the thing. And like for Nova, you're still needed to check the Ethereum engine, right? You're the only one who really knows how it works. And it works, but there are sometimes where the wolf pack come rushing to you and they're like, Miss Nova, it's making a weird noise. We don't know what to do. And like, you have to go in and you're like, go in and check it and you're like, oh yeah, it's making a bit of a clanging sound, and you check some of the pipes, bang, bang, bang. You're like, yeah, it's probably just got like some condensed Ethereum in it somewhere. It's probably fine. And they're like, okay. And then like the next day, they're like, Miss Nova, it's gone red. And like, they don't know what red means. And so like, there's little things like that where they're constantly running to you. And then Sentry is like, I believe morale officer is kind of like what you were assigned. The crew get bored, right? You're constantly having to come up with things for them to do so they don't just fight and drink all the time. Like, what do you have an idea of what Sentry might come up with?
I have a pan flute.
So you just like go around like playing music. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that like you probably get like a little impromptu band going when things are quiet, because people like Howard, he's busy for like lunch, breakfast, and dinner. The rest of the time he has nothing to do. So he kind of like he's got like a little drum,
pots and
and yeah, well he's got like a little drum, like he's got this little kind of tambourine, like little bass drum, and you and him play music, and you kind of like prance, and you go around on the deck, and the crew fucking love it. Like they're just like, yay, play that one again, play our favorite song, and you've got like
solving songs and stuff.
Yeah, and I think like, you know, Howard's job is kind of simple. He just has to keep the beat. So like you teach him a few little bits, and he seems pretty happy with that he gets to do something a bit more fun and like take time during the day. But maybe also like you help Howard pick out what dinner like menus to have and things like that from the supplies, making sure that it has enough variety so that it's not the same boring stuff all the time. And just generally report to Lucius and Aerois on like, yeah, these guys seem like they're okay, and oh, I talked to Penny and she's been really quiet, and you know, you kind of just keep everybody updated.
I need you to write some air shanties.
Yeah, air shanties for sure.
I'm doing that. I'm going to buy a recorder.
I think this whole like going down with the crew in the evenings is like I'm slipping away to do it.
Okay.
Like trying to not be caught by the rest of the party.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. All right.
Cute.
So, what do you want the focus to be? Do you want the focus to be on like rough housing and like play fighting?
I think it would eventually lead to that over like the course of a couple of weeks of understanding that that's what.
Well, we're going to take it week by week. So like week one, what's the kind of
like
main goal? Just like getting to know them and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Understand what makes them tick, what excites them.
Okay.
Like this whole pack family thing, I'm very interested in.
Okay. And do you want to like splash some money to like, you know,
I've got nothing.
You've got no money? Okay.
got no money
All right.
in
Okay. So I just need you to make a straight up persuasion check for me.
Sure.
But given your nature, I think this would be with disadvantage.
Oh.
Oh.
Can you get lower than that?
I mean, I just said if you can make it. Is that with disadvantage?
That's a natural one.
Oh, that was a natural one. All right. So 8, yeah? Do you know what? It's surprisingly not the worst result you could get. You're lucky, you're very persuasive.
+7, yeah.
So here's the thing, right? You go down and over the week you try and insinuate, you know, you try and insert yourself into the mentality. You do things like that and they kind of look at you and they're like, are you all right, Captain? Do you want to, what do you want?
Hello.
Hi.
I've got no time, and I thought, you know, I'd get
Oh, right.
hang out with the crew.
Oh, and then they look at each other awkwardly like, yeah.
Because we're all equals here.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're the captain, I guess.
Yes,
Well,
but
do you want to have a drink with us? We've got like a little bit of ration ale for the.
you know what? I've not had the ration ale.
You should try it.
Yes, I think I will. I'll
right.
have one.
Sure. And they pour you out, and they've got like little wooden cups, and they put it. And you know, the airship is kept very clean. It's not filthy. It's not like a rundown tavern.
Yeah.
The ale is very weak, so you can kind of drink it. It's like a. What do they have out in Gamescom? Kolsch. Like it's like a very watery, light beer. where you're just like, yeah, okay, it's quite nice. It's not going to get you super drunk.
Would I feel like, as a high elf,
Yes.
I have resistances and stuff like that. Like, it's not like Lord of the Rings style Legolas, just like...
No, elves don't. If you were a dwarf, yes, you have resistances to poison. I would give you advantages on things like that.
But elves
you're
kinda
just like
the
a normal
same.
human, yeah. It depends on your constitution score, really.
Okay, well, that's +0, I think. So
So it's like 10 or 11.
yeah.
Yeah, so you've got like an average person's
I was
constitution.
+1.
Okay, so you can drink, you can probably have like a couple of spirits or a couple of beers. You probably would have drunk a lot of wine or like spirits in the Sky Cities. Like having a wine with dinner would be quite common.
So I'd probably ask that first before the elves. Like, do you have any reds or whites?
No, unfortunately not. We're on, it's ration, sir. We could, and they kind of get this look in their eye. They're like, we could buy some wine next time in Port. We should have some wine down here. We've only got the beer. That's all we're allowed, but because of budgeting and stuff, the Birdman says this is all we can afford.
Quill said that.
Yeah.
It's probably for good reason. He's very smart.
Yeah, but we could have some wine though, couldn't we?
Yes, and then you'd be happier.
Yeah.
And then you'd like the captain
Yeah, we
more.
love wine, don't we, lads? Yeah, and it's like a bit of sort of like...
See, this is the whole reason I'm down here, to understand your needs. Perfect. What else do you want?
I just rolled from the complications, and I don't know how I'm going to pull this off, but it's amazing. All right, this is like the first night. Over the week, you keep going down, you sneak off, and you end up drinking way too much. Like, every night they're like, come on, Gabby, have another one, and they keep playing, and you're just not used to it. And then they start pulling out the moonshine stuff that Howard's been making on the sly, and this stuff hits you like an anvil.
Howard.
At some point, it's tasting funny now. Very strange.
And
Is my tongue going numb? I think it is.
it's going numb, yeah. And you're starting to get to know some of the crew at this point. This is after a couple of days, and you now know most of their names. Like, they all do have individual names.
Nigel?
Sure, one of them's called Nigel. They tend to either have human names like Nigel, or they tend to have more names that kind of suit their persona, like, like Kamara is like a more humanoid name. Some of them have names like
I named
Swift.
one, didn't I? I can't remember what it was.
Yeah. And and you begin to like notice it's with the Beast Walkers, they are mostly humanoid, but they have these animal traits, right? Like they've got like the wolf ears, they've got the long shaggy hair and stuff. They've got like these slightly fatter, like flat noses, but they still look mostly human. They do have like tails and stuff. And you begin to like get to know them and stuff like that, and you begin making friends, like not super close friends, but you start getting closer with them all. And then the fifth night of the week, blackout drunk. Like, you just can't remember anything. You remember going down early evening, sneaking off, and they were already howling and getting drunk and like shoving each other around and having a really fucking good time. And they actually like, Captain, yay! And they bring you down.
Sea dog.
And like, Sea Dog, yeah! And I'm gonna need a name here. Let me get name generator up.
So one of them's
named
already
one
called Sean.
Yep.
Sean and Nigel.
No, I need
Nigel
a
so far.
specific name for a specific one.
Fang. Scruff. Deathwish.
Gruff.
Fang kind of might work. I was just gonna do a human name, but maybe Fang.
Carl.
Carl.
Carl Sagan.
Watch out, it's me, Peter.
My dad's name.
I'm so bad with names, so I have to generate one, because otherwise it'll end up like all of my other fucking characters all the goddamn time.
Alessandra.
Yeah, it was like Alessandra, yeah, it's all the fucking same.
Caliana.
All right, yeah, calm fucking down.
I was gonna say, like, do all your characters end with an A?
Yeah. Callisa. Starbana.
Shut up. God damn it.
Hadara.
Okay, so that one of the Beast Walkers, you think you know their name. It's like Faith or Faeth or something like that, and they take a shine to you. They just think you are the prettiest,
knew it.
fucking handsomest elf ever. And she's kind of cute in a weird Beast Walker way, like, with the ears and the tail and the long hair, but she's rough. Like, she's quite well built, and she shoves you around, and she's stronger than you 100%, and bullies you around a little bit. But there's a playfulness to it, like a kind of, like...
I'm a sub. This is what...
There's an element to that.
And you wake up the 6th day of the week, the most pounding headache you've ever had, and you look around because the Beast Walkers all basically they kind of bed down in the bottom of the ship in the hull, where they've kind of built like this den of like, you know, bunk beds and pillows and blankets, and it's kind of just this big den. And you wake up, and the first thing you see is there's like colored streamers and like ribbons hung around. It looks like there are like flower petals scattered around everywhere.
It's very strange.
And you look around, and a bunch of the wolf pack are kind of on their normal beds, and Kamara is there, and she's passed out, blackout drunk as well. And
What are you all doing in my captain's quarters?
they don't stir. They're so passed out. But you kind of look over, and you can see that Faith has she's like holding onto your body, like she's like holding, and you're nude.
Oh my god!
Maybe you'd have your little pants on, your little initial pants. You'd have your initial
Embroidered.
pants on. Yeah. But you can see that they've like, you have like a fur, like one of the blankets has been cut to be like almost like a furry kind of like cape or something. You have like a piece of like blanket taped to your backside like a tail. Like little fabric ears stuck into your
Oh
hair.
my god.
And there's on one of your fingers there is a braided like rope ring made of like braided.
Oh no.
I got fucking married to a wolf lady.
I mean,
Oh my god,
maybe
they
not
made you a
married.
little wolf suit.
Are we gonna have cubs?
In my pocket.
Are they gonna be little weird cubs?
what the hell did that complication say?
Oh!
Do you know what it says? Surprise! You're married.
That's
Amazing.
That's hilarious.
Well, because the thing is he rolled really low as well, so it kind of like you get the bad results.
I mean,
That's
he's not
really
married,
good.
he's proposed, right? Like, engaged.
Here's the thing:
How do
you
the
don't know how the wolf pack works. You're probably not legally married, but Kamara, and this is when it starts to dawn on you. You're like, they're alphas here. Kamara is here. They've never brought Kamara down before. But she's there, and you can see that she's covered in ribbons as well, and there's these flower petals, and it, like, something's happened here.
I'm just gonna prod
Faith.
Faith.
Still can't even remember a name.
She's like, ah! And she kind of, looks, and she's like, what time is it?
Honestly, I don't know. It's
Lucius! And then she just wraps her hands around you, and, like, full-on kiss. Like, full-on goes in for it, yep. And you can kind of, like, turn your head to the side, like, but, like, she's like, ah! And then she just kind of, like, settles into your, like, arms.
I think yes.
And she just, like, she's probably still drunk. Like, you're hungover, but she's still pretty tipsy.
Maybe just you need some more rest. Clearly.
Yeah, I was pretty tired. I'm just gonna, and she just kind of like pours back in and kind of just like lays on the ground and just probably falls back to sleep.
Yes. Well,
None of the others are awake.
I look around in my pants. In
You
this
don't know
cape,
you don't know where your clothes are.
and the little ears and the tail,
Yep.
They dressed you up.
and I'm just
They
gonna
did.
just gonna walk away. Well,
So as you're like walking up the stairs, you probably notice that there are like claw marks down your like back and arms, like little bite marks and things like that all over your body. You don't know who gave those to you. You're not sure. There you go. That's the end of that week. We'll extend that maybe. Maybe that happened over 2 weeks, I think. Do you want to continue carousing with the crew?
nope. I'm gonna take a bit of a break after that one. I
Okay.
think.
So the next question for me is like Sentry. Like, what did you like? Did you just want to like spend time with like Howard and those guys, or did you want to get to know like the Wolfpack as well, or?
Yeah. Yeah, I think we called spend time with Howard, like chill
Yeah.
out with Howard.
You've got Howard, Lookout, Penny, who's the like marksman, Lancian. Lancian, like if like he'll cling on to anybody who shows interest. Like if anybody's like Lancian, I've got a job, he's like yeah, and he'll just like follow you around and stuff.
then you've got the wolf pack, and then Aerois, and then obviously the players. So like, yeah. I mean, and you don't have to specify. You can just say like, I want to spend time with all of them.
Yeah.
You can just say that you want to spend time.
I think I'd do that, yeah.
Okay. And do you have like a particular things you want to try and, because there's quite regular like, you would probably see like Lucius sneaking off with the wolf pack to drink in like part of the room.
Yeah.
But some of the other wolf pack like gamble up on the top deck. They've like play like a dice game. Howard and Lancian and Lookout kind of get together and sing songs and kind of like sit around and talk about life back home and stuff like that. Is there anything in particular, like, because Sentry doesn't really drink, so...
No.
Yeah.
I'd probably just talk to them, like ask them about like what their home's like and find out more about them and where they're from, what they do.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so I think Howard is just like, oh well, I'm from it's a little tiny place really, up in Al Saraf. It's just a tiny little place in the middle of nowhere really. Lived there for a while. I don't know, it is a lovely little peaceful life for me. I was a little farmer and I had a lovely little orchard, a little apple orchard. But things change in life, don't they?
Yeah.
You get the bumps and jumps in the road. And,
Yeah.
And I had to move on. There was a lot of lovely memories there, but there were some sad ones too. And so I got a trip up to the Sky Seas. Never been so amazed in all my life, I tell you. Looking around, beautiful and amazing things I'd never thought I'd see. And then I started working for a bunch of people up there. I was a barman for a while, and I used to cobble shoes for a while, and then I realised I hadn't seen much of the world, and I was like, you know what, airships. I want to serve on an airship.
Yeah.
I signed up with and then you all employed me, and here I am.
Well, it's hard not to. You're such a little charmer.
Oh, you're too kind, Miss Sentry. You're too kind, I reckon. Too kind, I tell you.
You remind me a lot of the people back home.
Oh, and where's home for you, Miss Sentry, eh?
Home is Solvin, and always will be.
Solvin. Don't think I know a Solvin, but I'm not very well travelled. Didn't have much book learning either.
No, Solvin was before the Sundering. Solvin.
Right, of course, because you must be 1,000 years old, I reckon.
Maybe. I'd hope not.
Are you? Wow, and Lansing's just like, wow, 1,000 years old, really? I know that some of the Celestials that speak to us Azamar, they've lived for who knows how long, for all eternity.
Oh, that's okay. That's good to know.
Lookout just kind of sees a little bit of discomfort and is like, incorrect, Howard. Sentry Unit has not technically lived that long, but she was around before then. It is somewhat difficult to explain. We enter a period of sleep where we are not really aware of what is happening. Oh, right. God, you must be bloody tired. So you must be pretty tired when you can sleep that long.
I'm feeling
Yes, Howard. Yes, that is exactly it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I had to. Well, certain situations put me into a long sleep, and then I woke up and met my friends, and here we are.
That's lovely. Make a persuasion check for me, please, Sentry.
17.
17. So I think out of all of this, you think that Howard and Lancian, spending time with them each night, kind of singing songs with them, Lancian begins to actually calm down a little bit with you, and he takes you very seriously. Like, when you ask him to do something, there's none of his usual bluster and energy trying to get you to let him do something more. He's like, okay, Sentry, yeah, I'll do that. And then he just goes and does it, and he does it as best as he can. And Howard, there's less of the kind of just like, ooh, pleasant chit-chat. And there's some genuine moments where he reveals to you, he's like, well, one night when you're kind of maybe like you're helping him cook for like the big dinner, when it's just you and him in the galley, he's like, you remember I told you that I left my home because it was there were some sad memories. It's like, well, my husband, he got sick, very sick, unfortunately, and he passed away. We had adopted a little boy, but I didn't really know how to be a dad. It was always my husband who looked after him, and I could play and I could have fun, but I didn't really know how to raise a boy. And I thought the best thing for him would be to maybe find people that could. But did I make the right decision? I don't know if I made the right decision. I keep thinking like I was being selfish. Do you think I was?
I don't think so. I don't think you were, Howard.
I just wonder, is he gonna wonder what happened to me? Will he even care?
I'm sure he will. You're a lovely man, Howard, and it's been lovely getting to know you. And I think that would have imprinted on him. I think he must often wonder where you are.
Oh, thank you, Sentry. That's really kind.
So,
And you think that genuinely those two, you have a pretty good friendship. And if you ask them to do something, they'll do something for you, no matter what it is. So yeah, you can come in. Scrolls.
Yeah, I want to make some scrolls. Can I, during one of the chats that Sentry is having with Howard, like I'm looking at some stock and storage things and like that, and Howard.
Yes, Mr. Quartermaster, sir.
I'm noticing some.
Sorry.
Thank you. That's the correct salute. Thank you. I'm noticing some irregularities in some of the stock. It seems we have a surplus of some of the ale, where I imagine we would have run dry by now. But do you know anything about this? Have you been using ale more in your recipes, perhaps?
I'm sorry, Mr. Quill. The Wolfpack, I've been making moonshine for him.
Moonshine?
I've been making it out of taters and veggies and all sorts, just been letting it fester and all sorts, and they said that they'd eat me if I didn't.
Did they? Really?
No, they didn't. I wanted to make the moonshine, sir. That ale's piss water.
Do they?
Don't fire me, please.
Do they enjoy?
I rolled a natural one.
Do they?
The perfect natural one.
Did they not enjoy the ale?
They said it was weak, sir. They said it was too light. They couldn't enjoy themselves. And they were right, Mr. Quill. They were right.
This moonshine. How strong is it?
It's the worst, Mr. Quill.
Really?
Oh, it's right bathtub gin stuff it is. I've been making it in one of the baths.
Okay, but the Wolfpack have been enjoying it.
Oi.
As long as no one else drinks it, I'm sure it'll be fine, right?
They're strong drinkers, sir. And I mean, I can have a good drink myself as well. I can handle myself, and I don't make too much of it, sir. Just enough, Although I've been stockpiling it, and the barrel was empty the other day.
It was empty. The moonshine?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe just a big party for the Wolfpack.
Maybe.
Must have
But
been.
if they keep drinking it, we might go blind. So maybe the next time we do a supply run, can we get something stronger?
Listen, if you from now on keep me apprised of any stock situations or any stock requirements you may need.
Right.
This moonshine, if it keeps the Wolfpack happy, go ahead.
As morale officer, I approve this.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Quill. I won't do it again, I promise.
It's
I'm sorry.
okay, don't worry.
Okay.
Bless it.
Perfect.
Do I get my letter?
Oh yeah.
Is this actually Fawn over now, or is this like...
Oh yeah.
I'm going to go into.
Only give it
Nova's,
to her if Sentry's going to give it to
I'm
her.
going to go into Nova's quarters
Okay.
and put it on her pillow.
Okay. All right.
Carry on.
And yeah, I will in the other times when I'm not managing stock and plotting courses and things. Yeah, I want to make some
scrolls.
Scrolls. And
So tell me what you want to make.
I think I will make. How much were they again? 250 for a level 2.
Yeah, 250 for a level 2, and it takes 3 days.
How much money do we have, Nova? Kid.
Ooh, everyone loves admin.
I think Sentry broke Nova.
We have a lot of money. So we have 748 in just gold, and then we have a ruby statue at 150, a silver bar at 100. We also have a ceremonial gold and pearl dagger, and an obsidian statuette of Starban.
Cool.
So I'm going to say for the purposes of this, it will need to be the raw gold. Because when you go into a town, you can just trade the other objects for money and stuff. Normally they're just part of a trade. For things like scrolls, the gold really represents, things that you already have on the ship or that you can procure, when you stop off at points, like fancy inks, fancy parchments, stuff like that.
Okay, I guess in that case, I'd probably make a level 2 cure wounds.
Okay, so 250 in 3 days.
And then 2 level 1 cure wounds.
So that takes basically a week, because that's 5 days. And then the 2 level 1s are 25 gold each, so you're talking 300 gold for the lot.
Yeah? I think
No, 350. No, 300 gold for the lot. 1 level 2 and 2 level 1s.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 300 gold.
300 gold. Okay.
Okay.
We now have 448 raw gold.
Okay. Nice. As the crew, I mean, how obvious is it what happened to Lucius? Like, I want to hear the rest of this tale.
So, I go back to the captain's quarters and sleep for another like 4 or 5 hours.
Okay, yeah,
So I'm
sure.
not usually. I'm usually around at this point.
I think the only person that sees you going back to your quarters, there's 2 people that see you kind of sneaking back to your quarters because it's late at night, like, or really early in the morning.
Quite early in the morning.
There's only 2 people awake. Lookout, because he's a guardian and his job is to keep a lookout, and Helios, who doesn't sleep. Helios just looks at you and smirks. Lookout is just placid. Captain?
I'm just gonna collapse in bed. Wake up like hours later, and I think the next time the crew would see me is I'm on the very top of the ship, and from the back it looks like I'm just got my hands on my hips, just thinking about the next course. On the other side, I'm crying.
So you move as front as you can so nobody can be in front of you. And you're just like, okay.
Why are you so sad?
It's just got himself into a dilemma.
Okay.
The 3 of you, so Nova, Quill, and Sentry, make insight checks for me.
Oh, with
Because this is
pleasure.
going to be like over the next week, I want to see how much they pick up on not Lucius's behavior, on Faith's behavior.
I've got a 14.
18.
18, 15. Okay. So, Lucius, how do you handle the fact that over the next week, so this kind of all happens in like the first 2 weeks, and then the last week of travel, actually, I forgot that something happens on like the first week. So before this, so probably before the marriage, or no, let's say after for fun.
Yeah.
So after that, which happens on like the end of the first week, you notice the airship begins flying closer to a large landmass. And you begin to see mountains which actually look oddly familiar, even though you're looking at them at an odd angle, as the Stormchaser passes over the very northern tip of Savona and begins making its way across Corsadi. And about halfway through the second week, there is alarm amongst the crew. They begin pointing down and shouting, and Kamara, gets a message to you officers. She's like, "We have an incoming dragon
A dragon!
from there, from Corsadi."
A dragon!
This will be from the Dragon Ball military, I hope.
The airship. So I'm going to change the airship slightly. The airship speed is not going to be as much as a dragon's. Basically, the airship doesn't move very fast in terms of like combat movement.
Yeah.
But it can move consistently without getting tired, which allows it to travel again distances. And the dragon is basically beelining for the ship.
What do we do?
It's still quite far out now, but it is definitely heading towards the ship.
Can I see anyone like riding it, or?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. With your quill, of course you can. So there's a few things you see. So first of all, riding on the back of this dragon, which is. You've never seen a dragon in person. You know that they exist, that they serve they're the commanders, really. They're the kind of officers of the Dragon Ball military.
Right.
They vary in ages and sizes. You suspect this one can't be that old. It's not a baby. Maybe it's an adult, or maybe it's quite young, you're not sure. But it's not one of their ancient generals. Like, their generals are known dragons that are very old and very, very powerful, have magic item treasuries and all sorts of things.
Yeah.
This one does not look to be one of those. And there's 4 Dragonborn, all wearing what appears to be kind of like bronze-colored armor. That you can see that they have crossbows, they have long spears, they have blades at their side, and these huge kind of like oval shields. And they are armored up and ready to go. And there's a special harness. 2 of them are just holding onto the sides of the dragon. 2 of them are riding on its back. And it's flying directly for the thing. You also see, looking down on the continent of Corsadi itself, it is mainly a desert region, so you can see that it's quite hot and arid. Not like sand desert, but maybe more like blasted, like plains and flatlands. Very dry, temperate kind of conditions. And from where the dragon has come from is it looks like a sprawling city that has covered a huge Starbane ship that is embedded in the ground.
Wow.
But this ship isn't black crystal like you've seen, it's golden crystal.
that seems to swirl and ebb and flow with power. And then a town has just been built on and around it, and it created a town around the ship itself.
Is it rudimentary or pretty?
The town?
Substantial, yeah.
Substantial, hastily built, but we're not talking like, a slums or a ramshackle place. This is like actual proper buildings, but maybe not built. A big disaster would probably cause a lot of damage here. We're talking like maybe stone foundations, the rest of it is wood or maybe sandstone, that kind of material. Like, probably built with the aid of magic as well.
Do we know the name of it?
In fact, for sure, there are any of the larger buildings look like they've been sculpted from pure stone. Like no brickwork, they're just like shaped into buildings.
Very cool.
Do I know the name of that?
Of
Is
the
it big
town?
enough?
I think Quill, being of a messenger guild, you would know. The town is kind of named after the ship itself. The ship is called the Vivex.
The Vivex.
Which, do you speak Draconic?
No.
Okay.
Unless.
I do.
Okay, so
What
if
is
you tell
Aura?
Nova will tell you that it means the glorious.
Oh.
Cool.
And were they allies during the Sundering?
Yes.
Amazing.
All of the Dragonborn that came here,
Yeah.
all the Dragonborn that came in the gold ships are allies of Siaska. Sentry would know there are Dragonborn who serve Callus, that never rebelled and stayed on Draconis. And they are basically split into two people, the metallic Draconic military and the chromatic Draconic military.
But I guess the ones that are here are the defectors.
They're the defectors.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that all of the Dragonborn here are like metallic Dragonborn. The Dragonborn are all different colors. You get reds, whites, greens, coppers, silvers, golds, all sorts of different Dragonborn. It's the dragons that mattered. So the dragons that rebelled were the metallic dragons. The dragons that stayed were the chromatic dragons.
Okay.
Cool.
Gotcha.
Just because otherwise it's easier for me to basically say like chromatic's bad,
Yeah.
metallic's good.
I guess it'd be easy for us as well. Just
Yeah,
like,
and
that's
Quill-
a chromatic one.
You notice that the dragon flying up towards you is a brass or like a copper dragon.
Okay.
And as it begins approaching closer and closer, the wolf pack are like looking to the captain and Aerois like, what do we do? It's coming.
Is this post-hangover bad day?
Yes.
Cool.
Great.
Aerois,
Yes, captain.
I hand diplomatic stuff to Quartermaster Quill, Morale Leader Sentry, and yourself. I will take
Okay.
a back seat. You got this.
All right.
I believe in you.
She looks at you and is like, are you hungover?
I'm sick. It's a high elf thing. Please continue.
All right. Okay. Quartermaster Quill, Sentry, what do we do? Are we defending ourselves? Are we just allowing this dragon to fly up to us?
I mean, I think they're the ones being defensive. We're flying over their territory. This is a military. They just want to know what we're doing, making sure
Okay.
that we're not the bad
Okay.
guys.
Okay.
Should we see what they do? Let's.
We don't have anything dangerous on board or anything, do we?
Moonshine.
Okay. That's fine.
But do we stop the ship? Do we let them know?
That's your decision, Quartermaster Quill.
I mean,
You and Sentry and Miss Nova.
Should we stop? Just let them know.
what would look less like we're trying to stop and attack them? Back.
Just slowing the ship down. Just
Slow the ship down, let them catch up.
All
with
right.
us.
they've got nothing to hide. No
All
need
right.
to run.
She goes up to the wheel, and there's like these sections of pipes that connect to the engine room and like the crew quarters downstairs. Aerois speaks into one of them like, Miss Engineer Nova, cut power to quarter engines.
Aye, aye, not captain.
The captain is not feeling very well, apparently, so he has handed over authority to myself, Quartermaster Quill, and Morale Officer Sentry, just so you are aware.
Why are we slowing?
There is a dragon approaching us. You may wish to come up to the top deck.
So she'll probably just hear a clatter and then dragon, and then just footsteps.
Okay. I'd say after a week, by the way, Nova, if you were working on you have like the base metal gauntlet.
Okay, so it's
it's
hidden.
just like an armored hand. It doesn't really move very well, but it protects you when you're trying to hold stuff.
And it hides it.
And it hides it.
Cool.
And you're feeling a bit better, but that fatigue is still there and things like that.
Yeah.
You've not looked at the hand recently. You don't know how bad it is, but
Okay.
you've kind of been hiding it. There is a booming voice as you begin to slow and the dragon begins approaching. Slow your vessel and bring it to a halt. You are being inspected by the Draconis Militarum. Stand steady.
Okay, messenger ring to Nova. You need to go back 0 speed this time, not 25%.
Huh? What? I already stopped the engine.
Oh, I thought you 25%ed it. Okay,
Nova stopped it.
fair enough.
Orion kind of looks over at you like, yeah, I thought that as well, but never mind.
I just heard dragon.
The ship comes to a full stop. You can see the wolf pack. All their hair is like standing up and they're kind of like looking around like, oh God, what do we do?
Guys to stay calm. We're just like.
Like
lower
Kamara's
hands.
like, come on, you're professional, stand your ground, it's fine. And then you just hear as this enormous, like huge, coppery form, its giant claws.
Wow.
It kind of hovers, but it places its claws kind of softly on the deck of the ship and keeps its wings hovering in place, but you know it could just tighten its grip and hold onto the ship at any notice. The 4 Dragonborn on it swing themselves onto the deck and immediately, ka-chink, swords and shields are out as they stand. The dragon kind of looks over at the gathered crew. The wolf pack have like little short bows that they're holding, but they're not drawn, and they're kind of like looking terrified of this dragon. Kamara and the other officers are kind of like waiting, to attention. Howard is probably cowering in the galley. Lancian is at the front of the ship, like, there's a dragon. And eventually, the coppery dragon kind of looks around. And its form begins to shift and meld and change until it becomes a tall, humanoid, but with like very elongated elven ears, like extremely wide. And this coppery, beautiful hair just spills down almost to the floor. Beautiful features, but with a deep scar running all the way down its chin and neck. And he just stands before you in these glorious robes. Greetings, ship. I am Custodian Amadrasos. You are violating Corsadi airspace under jurisdiction of the Draconium Militarum. We were not informed of your scheduled arrival or travel through our airspace. Declare what is happening now. Who are you?
I am the quartermaster of this ship.
Where is your captain?
The captain is right here, and I'm pointing to Aerois. This is our captain, Aerois.
You are the captain of the vessel, and she kind of looks at you like, why have you done this to me?
I can't, captain, it's hungover.
I am acting captain for you. Currently, our captain is unwell. He is with our doctor at the moment, so I am acting captain. Looks to Quill.
That's what I meant when I said current captain. The course takes us from, where Gusthaven was, to Gisela, and the quickest route, unfortunately, just grazed over the top of your Militarum.
Grazed is certainly a term you could use, but our airspace, as dictated in our treaty with Aerois, you must get our permission. You are not authorized to travel through without forward agreement and traveling papers. Where are they?
We don't have any traveling. Where would we go to get such traveling papers?
And you can see the soldiers kind of like, they don't sheath their swords, but they kind of drop them and form a more relaxed stance.
Oh, great Starworm, forgive me for dealing with these ignorant travelers.
It's our first flight on this ship.
So at this point,
As it is always someone's first trip.
At this point, Nova comes barreling out and is like, "Dragon! Where's the dragon?"
Who is this?
Oh, this is our engineer, chief engineer, Nova.
I heard there was a
Agana.
dragon.
I am the dragon, Aganassi. I thought that perhaps it would be easier for me to converse with you in this form. Do not test me, however. I can assure you I can resume my draconic form as I am needed to.
I want to see that.
You will need... First of all, I will need to conduct an inspection of your ship to make sure that you are not carrying contraband or anything dangerous that could harm Corsadi or the Draconis Militarium. Then you will need to come down with me to the Vivex to sign the appropriate papers. There will be an investigation. You will be held for some time.
How long?
As long as it takes, until the general agrees that you are permitted to travel through our airspace.
We don't know how much time we have.
What do you mean?
We are trying to get to a place to preserve.
You're using vague language, bird. Speak directly and clearly. I am a dragon of Draconis.
Our guardian, Sentry, something is wrong with her, and we are trying to find a means to fix her.
Where?
In Gisela, a place called the City of Glass.
City of Glass. Thorgrim, do I know of this place? One of the Dragonborn is like, I'm not sure, Your Excellency. It is, I've heard rumors of a ruin made of glass in the neighboring continent.
In Kamina.
Kamina does not ring a bell. It is not of any strategic value. It is a ruin, a relic from the war. It is not populated. We do not believe there to be any weapons or magical effects there. It has been scoured before, my lord, Your Excellency. There are perhaps some defunct guardians there. Nothing of importance. Fine. I will conduct my inspection, then we will continue this conversation. Yes?
Okay. But I must urge you that we do try to make it as quick as we can.
He just doesn't even register that comment. Like, he's just like, and just marches around the ship. You can see he leaves his guards where they are. Maybe one of them comes with him, the one that was giving him advice. And he just barges into the captain's quarters. He just goes up to it, opens it, looks inside. What does he see?
I'm taking off the tail, looking in the mirror.
You still had it on?
Yeah. It was underneath
the coat. Okay. Yeah, you found your clothes. They were up in your room somehow.
And I'm just talking to myself, saying, "You've got to do this, Lucius."
Who are you? Who are you?
More importantly, who are you?
I am an Amadrasos.
Right. And you're in my captain's quarters because?
The Dragonborn with him just smiles. I am the current custodian of the Corsari airspace. Your ship has violated it.
Oh.
And then his form radiates with power and light. Can you make a wisdom saving throw for me, please?
Sure. 7.
You are so scared of this thing. You immediately know this is a dragon in a humanoid form. Like, it could probably incinerate you. It could probably turn you into a frog. You don't know what it could do to you. It's an ancient, powerful, magical thing.
Please, we meant no harm. We just have to get on our way immediately.
Grovel in the corner. I need to search this cabin. And he begins going through the cabin and just like pulls stuff off shelves, like literally, like doesn't treat it with any respect. It's just like
knocking stuff off.
Just knocks it off. Picks up the bed, like literally picks up the bed, turns it over.
This is brand new.
Looks around. You can see he even like goes up to like the paneling and is like trying to see if there's like secret compartments and bangs it on around.
Looking at the Dragonborn, it's like, will it be repaired or cleaned?
He just laughs but doesn't say anything. He just kind of thinks. The dragon seems like it kind of looks around, satisfactory, and it moves into the ready room and looks around on these maps. They do not appear to have any formal destination planned.
How long does this fear last?
Huh? As long as he's around. Like, it's as long as you're in his presence, you're just like... You can technically make another saving throw if you like.
I guess it's like every 6.
Yeah, it's like every...
8.
Yeah, so nope, still terrified. He goes through into the ready room, he tosses like that around a little bit. Less destructively, so he just kind of paws over the maps.
Charmed. No, that's right.
You do have advantage. No, it's a fear effect.
Charm,
So yeah, it's a fear effect. He finishes in the ready room, comes out onto the deck, makes his way downstairs. So here's my question. Do you have anything that you are worried about, and would it be hidden? Would you have hidden things? Do you have things on your person? Or do you store them in your cabins? Specifically, I'm talking things like the ILS.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, I guess, Helios and the Eterna.
I'm
He
not
can just
hiding
merge
Helios.
with Sentry, so
Yeah, I'm
Helios
not-
is probably
I'm not
merged
hiding
with Sentry.
Well, I got Tiangong, and
That's on you though.
the ILS would be on me.
Okay, so you just basically keep anything of note you would keep on you.
An obsidian statuette of Starbane.
Is that on you? Or would you keep
well,
that in like a...
I guess I'd keep it in a loot room with all our or a chest or something with all our.
Do we have Lucius's Starbane uniform on the ship?
Yes, you do. In fact, that would have been in the captain's quarters, wouldn't it? Fuck. Okay. So maybe he comes back into the captain's room unsatisfied with his search. I will roll an investigate. I rolled an investigation for him. I got a 25. So he opens up the wardrobe and begins going through it, through the clothes. And then
11.
Nope, still right. And then he stops. Thorgrim, arrest them.
We have done absolutely nothing wrong.
Pulls out a Starbane uniform.
I can explain.
Begin.
Right, the forces of Starbane are attacking Aerois again, and we are here to stop it. And I used that because we were on a defunct starship not too long ago, and that we utilized that to get through into access of areas so that we could get back out and stop a threat that was threatening an underwater village recently.
Holds it out. Your story is ridiculous, which is why I'm inclined to believe at least some of it may be true. You say you acquired this on a...
Aegis 5.
Aegis 5. Thorgrim, send word to the general. Have them cross-reference our records of an Aegis 5 belonging to the Starbane Empire. How did you access it? In fact, gather your officers. I will hear it from all of you at once.
Very well. Our messenger.
I like the fact that you guys are just like, yes, rolling around for the, like...
Mr.
I'm in literal
Dragonborn,
fear.
sir.
Yeah, that's understandable for Lucius. Like, he didn't like your sass, so...
Yeah, our messenger rings. There's a copper and dragon.
Yeah, and I think the dragon is even like, puts his head out and is like, all of you, in here, officers.
Sure.
Okay.
Like being told off by a teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like head down.
You get that this creature is so arrogant. It just doesn't think you're really even worth respect at this point. It's just like, nah, stupid idiot mortals.
I mean, this is probably his like 16th trade ship. He's tussled
Yeah.
anyway.
So he brings you all in. You immediately see that the Starbane uniform is like on the floor. And he points at it. Explain.
Messenger ring silently. Lucius, how much are we telling him?
The full story.
He casts a spell. Do you want to make an Arcana check?
Yeah.
Fair and truth.
Arcana 13.
13. I'd say probably enough because it's not a high-level spell. You think he might be reading your minds.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Right.
Tech thoughts.
Cool.
We found in the depths of the ocean, near a place called Yamalotai, which is about a week and a half ago, a portal that takes you beyond the cradle to a
Astral Citadel.
astral citadel that is
Aegis 5.
Aegis 5, yes. In an attempt to stop some Sahagan threats that was emanating from this place. So we went into the astral citadel and stopped it. It needed us to have some kind of identification on us, and we just happened to find the outfit and a gem, actually, on us.
I was cold. I was given underwater breathing, but I was just in my tight pants.
Yes, we had to swim there.
Whilst you're doing this, the surface thoughts, are you trying to hide your thoughts in any way? Are you trying to think of like Jello instead of like...
I'm too scared to do it.
So you're just like, just blank.
Logical,
like you're just
yeah.
like, you are scary, please don't eat me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm kind of hard focused on telling that story in case another thought comes in that's kind of like, oh, we're going there because we know Starbane's back.
Okay.
And, you know,
well,
things like
okay.
that.
Well, make a wisdom saving throw for me then. Let's see how strong Quill's will to like focus on the task is.
19.
19. Yeah, you have a trained mind, honed by your kind of practicing of magic in Hesper's name, through daily rites and through Messenger Guild training. Like, you just focus on that story and blot out any other kind of thought.
Yeah, I just don't want any like wayward thoughts to come in that's just like, you know, talking about the purge or anything like that.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, he's like, very well. Why
I will ask this of Guardian. Why did you enter into this strange realm? What reason did you have to enter and go and fight, explore the citadel? Most people, most of your kind, if they were aware of a relic of Calistarbane, they would be too terrified to enter. Why you? Why did you go there?
Well, we were helping the people of Yamalotai, right? And then we got instructed to help fight the Zarhorgan threats, and then it ended up just leading us down that path.
So you are just mercenaries, or you are trying to help people? Is that it?
Yeah, I think we are. We do that
Sentry
pretty
was
well.
continuing her fight.
And he looks at you, and you think for the first time since this guy's come on board, he looks at Sentry and is like, "This is a warrior." And he's like,
We're allies, are we not? We fought together during the Sundering our kind.
We did. You are a credit to not only yourself but to your creators, Guardian.
You understand that when a purpose calls you, you must go and search it out. You must go and fulfill that, correct?
I do. That
That's
is
what we're doing.
well spoken. Well spoken. And you, I admire your iron will. I know that you were trying to keep errant thoughts from me. Clever. Very clever.
Thank you.
I could not. You focused on the story. Could be a lie, but I think perhaps not. It is too ridiculous. This one is too afraid of me to lie. Very well. So, you fight against Calistarbane, yes?
We do. We try to.
Tell me, when you boarded this astral citadel, was there any indication that it was being used recently?
I mean, yes, there was an active portal connecting it to us.
Did you encounter any officers, warriors of Calistarbane there?
There was an Eladrin called Sanshara.
Eladrin.
Shansara.
Thorgrim, Shansara, make a note. He's like, yes, emissary. And did they say anything? Did they speak of any actions or of Callus?
I mean, she seemed very distant and separate from the actual ongoings of Callus and their entire operation. It seemed like she wasn't completely
Their entire operation?
up to date.
That implies knowledge of something bigger.
They're attacking us. They're all coming. We've seen him.
You've seen him.
Yes.
Explain.
Well,
You can just say, I explain.
For once, it's not me.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, that's what I'm thinking.
I explain.
The events with like the portal.
It's like
and Valor.
verbal diarrhea.
Okay. Do you just everything? You just explain
Not, well, just like I mentioned name, everything, yeah. But in like a and then we went
And
here,
then
we
Valor did this, and
teleported
then
away.
blah, blah. He holds
Talking
up his
about Valor as well.
Yeah.
Okay. He holds up his hand and he's like, stop. And you feel that presence begin to diminish and the fear kind of begin to evaporate as whatever presence he was putting out, like, secedes. We are aware of Callus's return. I am alarmed to hear that you individuals have encountered him directly, but perhaps if you were spared, this gives us an opportunity for information. I understand your desperate need to help the Guardian. I'm very sympathetic, but you must come and speak with the General. Or you must send an emissary to come with me.
It's okay, we can go.
Will it take?
This is important.
Will it take the time that you mentioned it would take before?
No. For freelance traders that travel throughout our space, if you did not have this information, if you had not told me about what has happened, we would have kept you for some time. We do not appreciate travelers coming through our airspace unwarranted and unlicensed. It would have considerably taken some time. But you have told me of what has happened. That is important. First of all, you have information that the military needs. Secondly, there are things that you do not know yourselves. There are plans in motion. The leaders of Aerois have been speaking. We have been contacted by the gods, and they have made us aware of plans. However, to avoid a general panic, this has not been told to the wider population of the worlds, of the continents yet.
We've struggled with that dilemma ourselves and who we should and shouldn't tell.
You are wise to tell one of me. The dragons, we have seen what Callus has done firsthand.
Me too.
He kind of looks at you and nods. We escaped his war and came here to warn your predecessors, to warn Siaska, bless her. And he kind of raises his hands to the sky. We are preparing. But the dragons do not have the power to resist him alone. We barely think that he used a fraction of his military strength the last time he came. He had some sort of plan. Even now, he kind of pauses and you can see that there's something he's not telling you. There are things that you do not know. I will not keep you any longer than I must, but you must come and speak with the general.
You mentioned an emissary to send to talk with the generals. And
Yes.
I could be that person. If I feel like everyone needs to get Sentry to this city of glass and fix her as quick as he can, I can head down, talk to the generals. I've got this connection with Hesper. Maybe he can help.
Quill, considering you're the one that brought Sentry back, was the first one to see her, I think it's important you also are present for the City of Glass.
I know, but...
Perhaps there is something we can do. First of all, we could provide you with an escort to Gisela. Any attempts to interfere with your travels, we would be able to protect you and help you reach your destination safely. What is the problem you are having, Guardian?
It appears that I've begun to enter my shutdown phase. I don't know how long I've got left, but it could be days, could be years. I still have 2 years, but it's difficult.
We have my people and the Dragonborn who we raised. We do not have the expertise as your creators had, but we are perhaps a little more advanced than the people of Aerois. We know something of the Guardian's creation. It is possible that our finest mages could take a look at you. They could perhaps determine how much time you do have. They maybe even have ways to not delay it, but stave off the experiences you have. I know that Guardians sometimes display erratic behaviors.
Yes, correct, yes.
We may be able to prevent that, temporarily, of course.
That sounds better than guessing.
If that alleviates some of your concerns, I would prefer to hear from all of you, so would the General. You, Ganassi, you have been very quiet. What are you thinking about as well?
I think Nova's mind is probably like a Rolodex in the wind, just like throwing up all the kind of things that have been happening in the last however long we've been on this crazy adventure. Like every single freaking encounter from Zakira to Vala to the Shadow Goliath to the recent stuff that happened in the Twilight Corals and on the starship. And then it's just going like, I think through it all is probably like just Tiangong, like just thinking, always coming back to Tiangong. And then I'm probably going to turn to this guy and just be like, hi, does anyone, do you know about Hadar?
Looks around. Thorgrim, wait outside. He gestures with his hand, his human formed hand, and the door shuts on its own. He looks around. Gestures. Throws his hand out. You must be very careful speaking that name. Speaking that name has power. Power to it. When Callus came to Draconis, his ships encircled our planet, but he came in peace. He traveled down with gifts of magic, technology, gold, things that many of my ancestors craved. They desired power, wealth, And he offered them to us. For one price, we join his empire, fight in his armies to defeat Hadar, the Red Star, the insatiable hunger, the endless void. He brought pretty Eladrin and pretty dwarves and humans and winged women who spoke with silver tongues into the ears of our dragonborn and our kin. They warned us of an impending doom. And we believed him. Clutches of our dragons, of our warriors, were taken beyond our world and into the astral sea to fight against the endless horrors of death. The Red Star is real, and it is a grave threat to this world and to all others. But Callus's means are not an acceptable term. He enslaves. He made mutants of my people, corrupted them with dark magic, fueled on our life force, on eggs, unborn dragons. He turned them into beings of malicious malevolence. He enslaved my people and destroyed my planet. He turned it into a furnace, a whole planet just to make weapons and war machines. He destroyed my people to do this war. And as evil and as wrong as the Red Star may be, we would not stand for it any longer. So we came here. We learned that Callus needed Aerois, not in the same way that he wanted Draconis. He wanted Draconis as a foundry, a place for warriors. But Aerois was special. One of my great ancestors, a clever gold dragon woman, she discovered that Aerois was the key to Callus's plans against Hadar, that he needed the planet whole, and that Siaska was the key to it all. So we took that information, we stole his ships, and the greatest of our ancient dragons gave their lives to infuse with the ships themselves. They became living weapons to transport us from Draconis to here, to warn Siaska and Aerois what was to come. Now they are lost to us. The Vivex was a ship, but it was more than that. It was a dragon who will never return. So we know the Red Star, and I wish to all the powers of the universe and to all the gods that we can find a way to stop it. But we cannot do that by fighting alongside Callus. He would destroy everything that makes Aerois what it is. And in some ways I would prefer death.
He kind of leans back, takes a somber moment.
Do you know that emissaries of Hadar are here?
His eyes go wide.
What? No, that is not possible. The cradle protects us.
We encountered one in a ruin called the Night Eyes.
This is why you must speak with the general. That cannot be allowed. I am not as old as the others. I have lived a long time, but I was a child when we came to Aerois. I know these stories because they are passed to us. But the general is ancient. The general knows. You must speak with him.
I think we're all in agreement, are we not, to speak with the general?
Yeah, let's speak.
Yeah,
And
I think we can help.
I believe so. You seem to have information. I do not know why. Perhaps it is destiny. Perhaps it is the great worm themselves that brought you to me. But now I must take you to them, to the general, to my people. You are not prisoners. You will be treated as guests. And my apologies for the disruption to your quarters. And he kind of stands up, brushes himself off. Come to the Vivex. You shall be grand guests of Amadrasos. And he kind of steps out and just jumps off the side of the ship and then into a dragon shifts.
I do the same plummet.
Yes!
I believe!
Holy shit.
So I guess all the other guards go with him.
No, the Dragonborn guards stay on your ship. But they don't interfere. They basically back off and in fact, Thulgrim, the one that was taking notes, comes up to Aerois, as she is the acting captain.
Sure.
How can we help, Captain? And she's like, some of my crew are not very well. Perhaps you could help with our sky sails. And they're like, of course. They snap a salute. They do the normal salute. And then they go over and they just take to work as if they know how to run an airship, and they help manage it.
And we're heading down to...
Yeah, and you basically, Amadrasos will guide you down towards the city itself. There is no airship docking tower, but there is a big stretch of land, this kind of big dry plain that has been leveled out, and there are these huge, almost like siege towers, like these wooden platforms, where the airship can basically park, and it gives you a place to disembark and make your way down.
Cool.
Okay.
As you begin to lower, the temperature definitely rises and it becomes dry. And you just make your way down, and you can see that the city is bustling. This is a huge city that's been built up around the ship itself. It is almost all Dragonborn, but there are some other races. You see traders, but they're rare. You see a lot of dwarves, Savonan dwarves in particular, categorized by their hats. And their hot weather clothes.
I mean, they're not too far from Savona, I guess. So.
Exactly. So there's a lot of Savonan dwarves. There's actually a lot of tiefling merchants who you notice you've met a few tieflings. The tieflings that you see around the Vivex are dressed ostentatiously. Bright silks. They're like covered in like these super bright clothing. They dangle bells from their horns, and they have like jangly bracelets. And they're just like clapping. They're like, hey, come buy some stuff. Yeah. And they're like trying to grab you and get your attention.
Where was that? There was a tiefling that we met in...
Veskin.
Yeah, Veskin.
In Miske, yeah. He dressed quite like normally compared to you, but he still had like the outrageous gold codpiece and like the tiny tight like shirt with his chest hair out. These guys are definitely like, and you see it's a mixture of genders, and you see they're quite covered up, but the fabric is still very loose and thin, so it's kind of a bit scandalous in that like their bodies are kind of on show through these thin silks, but they have like all this jewelry, and especially bells on the horn seems to be very common. So when they kind of like shake their head, you get like a ding 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 like rattling sound. And as they walk and bob up and down and dance, dancing seems very common. Like even if they've got like a merchant stall, they, rather than being behind a stand, they come out in front and they're like juggling their wares and they're dancing around. Some of them like produce like fire in the air, like it spells out like sail and stuff like that.
What's the like military presence in this?
Heavy.
Right.
Basically, everywhere you go, you see on the around the kind of battlements, which I guess would have been the deck of the great warship, you see that there are guards with crossbows constantly on patrol, armed patrols through the town. Extremely common, but very uniform, very disciplined.
How are people acting when like a patrol walks through? How are people around them acting?
So the people around them, like the other Dragonborn who look like workers or laborers, or the tieflings, the dwarves, any humans around, they step out the way and they're smiling. They're like, hey, and they kind of like, so give like little fake salutes.
Yeah, military state sort of thing.
It is, but it seems that it doesn't seem to be causing any problems to the local citizenry. Like they're kind of not celebrating the military as they go by, but they treat them like, oh, good luck, and they kind of wave them off.
Beaten recently by
and there is like a terseness to them. You see a lot of kind of like tiefling merchants trying to sell stuff like as they go past, and the Dragonborn soldiers like, not today, and they just kind of push them out the way, but not force. It's kind of like gentle, like no, out the way, and they're very disciplined.
Yeah, okay.
And I think we'll end today with you guys being led through this bustling market up towards a huge metal gangplank it looks like it's been developed with like a defensive platforms on either side, where you can see just rows of Dragonborns with crossbows and halberds, and it leads up onto the warship itself. And as you draw closer,
Nova and Sentry, you don't necessarily feel in Eterna, but this ship has a living presence. Oh. And it's almost like listening to somebody in a deep slumber. You hear like so this, cool. like, deep in your mind. And that's where we're going to end today.
Wow. Man.
For a section I didn't have a lot of notes prepped for, this turns into a lore dump.
I mean, that's
one
the
of my
first
favorite
time.
episodes.
Yeah.
That's so
First
good.
time we've seen the Dragonborn as well. They are very cool.
That fucking speech.
That was
Oh,
great.
shit.
That was
Yeah,
incredible.
That was very
Eating
good.
that lore.
Dragons.
I love D&D.
The stuff that I actually
This
have
is
up
the
here.
juicy
So,
stuff.
Good shit.
and you got married! Lucy Stormchaser. I cannot believe I rolled that on the chart. I was like, this. If you were somebody else, I would have probably been like, okay, hang on, I'm gonna take my mic off. Like, I'm gonna check, is this okay? But you're Chris Trott, so I just did it.
Cool.
Thank you.
No, very cool. That was a
Yeah, well, that's
great
it. Now we've not. Like, now you've had a thing which has called your
huge
way.
disruption.
Like she's probably like Faith is probably like, where's Lucius? Like looking for you and
finding
stuff.
Marhaba.
Yeah.
Oh
He's,
no,
like,
we left
smelling his
without her
things.
work.
Trying to locate him through smell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A sense of smell.
Sense of smell, yeah.
Oh, what do you think all the bites and claw marks were for? You've been marked, son. Right.
Piss on you.
I'm allergic.
Tom, do you want to read some of these out?
Yes, absolutely. Right. First one is from Raging Rhino 101. Mark, do you ever feel the need to send others out so only certain people get information? An example could have been the ILS conversation. Also, reminder to use Ghost Meat.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, we've had that before, where a couple of times, I think I did the Eye of the Storm
Yeah.
on Moonstar. And
Yes,
you
I
went
took you outside. So there's a couple of things, like, so if I think about it, sometimes I will do it. The reason that I don't like to do it is, first of all, I love seeing everyone's fucking reactions, because you know that you can't use that information I see.
There was so much
Yeah.
like biting moments where we were like, oh, I want to say something,
Yeah.
where am I?
What would you have said?
But then, yeah.
And mainly about the gods thing.
Yeah. Oh,
But
the
I
other,
don't know about that.
you don't know it.
Yeah.
The other thing is that it feels like, I don't know, it feels like you're not involved in the
Yeah.
game if I send you away, or if I take somebody out the room, like, it kind of feels like a disruption to the stream.
Yeah.
So do you know what? I'd rather just you guys hear it, and then you guys have to roleplay.
I think
Think
we're
Yeah.
good enough. To,
you are good
Yeah.
enough players. I trust you. So
to disassociate.
yeah.
Darth Day 41. VOD squad again this week because Davey was late and is still catching up on last week. It's fine. Once nobody dies, everything is fine. Cool. Thank you very much.
Didn't die as such.
Didn't die either. Yeah, not much. Max, back again after having a power outage last week to ask Mr. Mark, how's he doing?
I'm all right.
Cool.
Tired today.
You're gonna crash.
I'm gonna crash hard.
Honky Conky says, love you guys.
Love you too, Honky Conky.
Lightning Wing Dragon, had a thing I wanted to say, but I forgot it.
Okay, thanks for the donation.
Any plans for High Rollers Jingle Jam?
There will be high roller stuff in the Jingle Jam. What that is, I don't know yet.
Not yet.
But something.
Hi Zombies. Hey Mark, got a couple of questions about airship combat. Would things such as Shield of Faith and Sentry's Protection work on the ship?
Not on the airship.
Yeah.
You can't Shield of Faith the airship.
Pure faith entire ship.
And the reason for that is I believe a lot of those spells state one creature.
Yeah.
The airship is not a creature, it is a vehicle.
Yeah, or it's like a distance
Yes.
thing, right? It's like 5-10 feet or whatever.
Yes,
Like,
and it's how do you work that for the ship.
Exactly,
so
yeah.
I get where you're coming from, but no.
Also, caught us live this week because their DM was busy. Thank you very much.
There you go.
Yummy Chip. Amazing as always, guys. Well, I'm donating at break. Maybe the second half is trash. It wasn't.
Got better.
If it's not deliberately secret, could you tell us all the PC's alignments? Honestly,
We don't use them. We don't use
We don't
alignments.
use them. I don't really have
I don't
one.
use them for
I
enemies
don't like to
either.
be pigeonholed.
Well-
Yeah, I've got no idea.
Alignments are there to be a guide. Like,
Yeah.
alignments are genuinely there to be like, hey, this is maybe how your character should act, but worlds are shades of grey, man. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like, people can be heroic and they can be selfish and they can
Yeah.
switch between the two.
Much like the source books of D&D.
Yeah.
They're just
People
guidelines.
change, man.
Yeah, I don't
People
feel like I
change.
don't like making, like right from the start saying,
I've
oh,
never
I'm
used
lawful good. I
I've
feel
never
like
used the line.
Yeah.
maybe, I don't know, 10 sessions in, I'll say, oh, okay, yeah, actually my character is acting this way, so maybe it's this
And
way.
if you guys wanted to use it, if you wanted to be like, no, I want to play a lawful good character, that's fine, as long as that's just a role-playing thing.
Yeah, it's just
Cool.
roleplay.
Right, do you want to swear? Kim, read some?
Yes.
Thank you to Varys, who donated $10 and no message. Thank you to Ace of Thorns. Asked up my dono last week, didn't reset my username. Dope. Wore my Talis File Needs You t-shirt to the gym last week, and there was def a roll or two with advantage that session. Hugs all
Nice.
around, and get well soonest, Katie. Thank you to Matamanu for the quarter hundo.
Yeah.
What a hundo.
Thank you to Hyperlalal.
Hyperl did like loads of bits as well today.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Lucius wants to entertain the crew. Is that a luscious Lucius dance party?
I should have
Dun,
done
dun,
that.
dun, dun, dun,
Done. Thank you to New Alex. Great stuff, HR. At least now Nova can develop a new interest in wearing fashionable gloves. Curmudgeonly dwarf in glove shop RP? Yes, why not? Yes. Will Nova fall for illusory sexy Starbane? Possibly. Can Lucius connect with his underlings? We'll see.
Connected too much.
Connected quite
There's a
a
lot of
bit.
connection. Duegg. Hi, Mark. I was wondering if you will make/release the Beast Walkers as a playable race. Also, if you did, would there be changes to stats/racial features depending on what kind of Beast Walker the player chooses?
So I don't know about releasing it, but the way it works is that Beast Walkers have just generic like ability score changes, but then they pick 2 animalistic traits that give them like extra stuff. So like keen senses might be one choice, and then I think Sana had one which is like bounding legs, which means that she can jump further and stuff like that. So because it's like a bunny element and stuff like that.
Cool. Frank, the NPC. Congrats on the wedding, Lucius. We have our first official shipping. Woo! What is the ship name? Luciate for Lucius and Fate?
Facious.
Faith.
Facial.
Oh, God.
No, Tom.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
I like it. Bayfeather, Lucius, you better be a good hubby or I'm going to start a riot.
This is the thing, right? Like, it's kind of not a good thing, guys. Like, this is like a drunk Vegas wedding. It's not something to
We are
celebrate.
absolutely leaving it here.
I've got a plan in mind.
Okay.
Well, Lucius does. Hyper LR, again, with 1,000 bits.
Thank you.
Whoa,
Which is
man.
Faith, best girl confirmed. On Sentry is also hanging out with them. Oh my god. Is everyone getting a Wolf GF/BF? Yes!
Yes.
I'll do one more, I guess.
Sure.
Frank the NPC again. Never mind the last dono. We now have the official ship name of Facius.
No.
All right.
Facial.
Facial.
Overruled.
It was right there.
Overruled. It's facial.
Facial's.
Oh,
Marriage.
Oh,
Nigel,
God.
thank you very much. Marriage is what brings us together today. Oh my God. Marriage, that blessed arrangement, that dream within a dream, and love, true love, will follow you forever. So treasure your love. Oh my God.
Princess Bride.
Oh
Being
my
back
goodness.
at my
Thank you very much, Nigel. That was really fun.
Woo.
Delindan, thank you very much for your donation. Just over a quarter hundo. Good evening, lovely people, awesome people. When's Sentry going to cast Ceremony on Lucius, and what happens when Smeek touches Nova's arm? Love you guys. Save Plant Mum.
That's right, you've
Got
got
a cast ceremony.
Yeah.
Make it official.
Make it official.
Not just
Oh.
wolf official.
Put a ring on that wolf.
I guess we'll find out what happens when Smeek touches the arm.
Yeah.
I hope he dies.
That requires Mark to remember Smeek exists.
Yeah.
I had my fun with Smeek and I'm done with him now, so I'm like, man, I've
He's
got other
gone to
things
the
to play with.
afterlife.
He's passed on.
The Norwegian guy, thank you very much for your donation. Donating again to show appreciation for Mark's amazing DMing, the voices, the personalities. God damn, it's brilliant. Be true.
much.
That's why I love D&D. And Blue, thank you very much for your donation. Very much appreciated. T Rich, less than three, you guys. Just started my night shifts. Will be VOD Squad member later.
Good luck.
VOD Squad. And another dono from Honky Conky. Guess my donation got cut off. Mark, is there a description of the Aerois night sky available anywhere?
I think that's
Big northern lights, stars, no moon.
There you go.
So that's the best I can do. Like, I don't have like any planned constellations and stuff, if that's what you're asking. And the cradle kind of dominates the night sky anyway, because it's always visible. It's like always having the northern
Bigger
lights.
than the normal.
Yeah, it covers the whole planet.
It's kind of a description when we were in Gusthaven though, and you looked
Yeah.
at the cathedral ceiling. Like,
Yeah.
So yeah, go back and look at that.
Like
Yeah,
that.
that's
And then Kapoppa for 200, just 500 bits. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sidders, Sydney, Tom,
Yeah.
for sticking with us and looking after us today in the tech stuff.
yes.
We made it, Mark.
We made it, we did it, yay! Just a quick reminder, thank you again to D&D Beyond. Thank you to everybody we met at Luca. Don't forget Amazon Prime sub. We are on next week, I think. There's no reason we wouldn't be. So we'll see you next week.
See you next week, man.
And look out for Idle Champion Century on Rhiannon's Twitter
Yes.
and on my Roll's Twitter.
Keep an eye out.
Keep
an eye
updated
out.
with that, because holy crap, that's cool.
Yeah.
See you next time!
See you next time.
See you next time!